All right. Let's go. Hello and welcome everybody to the inaugural episode of the Wicked Tavern Talk, where friends, players, content creators, and hopefully sometime in the future, devs will meet to build a stronger and more productive community around our favorite game, No Rest for the Wicked. I am Wicked Builds, and I will be your incorporeal host for the podcast due to realm constraints. Because believe me, if we could have more than 4 people in a realm, I will be right there on screen with these 4 amazing friends and players joining them in what is to come. So, without further ado, but in alphabetical order, here are your esteemed guests. We have Brian from
Hello.
Ginger Prime Gaming. See if I can make sure I can correctly tag him. Then we have Into the Wicked.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Next we have Larry Puss.
Hey guys.
With his very serious logo. And last but not least, we have the guys from the Rookery. I have Haise on screen, but we also have CtrlAltDelet in the chat. Let me get that.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Hello, everyone. So I'll be mostly absent for the stream as I am at work, but it's a pleasure to be on board with you guys. I'll be listening and in the chat with y'all. So have a good stream ahead.
All right. So, since the tavern at Caroline's lacks seating arrangements, we will be conducting our podcast from the Wicked's Gentleman's Club or Gentleman's Lounge. And no, that is not the name of a less than savory establishment, as you will soon find out. If
I was
everyone's
planning on dancing for coin. I was just gonna. If that's not happening now, then I gotta get that. I gotta get that silver, boys.
Okay. No, this is gonna be a good one. If everyone is ready, let's teleport to the lounge, get seated, and let's get this show on the road.
This is gonna be the best part right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
So, pro tip: I don't know how to teleport to the lounge.
Well, I don't have teleport.
This is the best part right here. Here we go. We got this.
Hey, please stop scaling the furniture. This is established for esteemed guests and gentlemen.
I'm just run.
So we're gonna make our way to the.
Yep.
If only can let me sit down.
Oh, watch Larry like doing that.
We don't like fast travel anyway, so
Yeah. Look.
I love strolling through the town.
exactly.
It's funny how it's not letting me sit down this time.
Go from the other side and just spam Y. Even without the prompts, it's going to sit you.
There it is.
There we go.
Thank you, brother.
I think Larry did the
I'm
best red carpet walk of all you. Everybody else was just unrefined. And look at Brian just like running up
Ginger's got his own
this.
script.
See, Haise got the memo. Look at him. Look at the grace in those steps.
Yeah, I will make it clear I'm not gonna be standing up because that was a mission and a half for me.
All right. I'm good.
Well,
Funny.
Just press Y without the prompt and it's still going to sit.
What would we do without the Rookery crew?
Okay, Larry is here.
Don't think
Technical difficulties.
It's
Whatever,
it's
shall we
kinda
You
do?
were so graceful. Just
That's how we sit down, I guess.
Okay, I think.
Almost got the prompt.
All right, I think I got your.
Working as intended.
First W in the books, guys.
We did it.
We did it.
You guys did it. We got the hard part done. Okay. We're all good? Everyone's seated? The audience is
good.
ready? All right. Okay, before we get started, to everyone in the chat, you're more than welcome to chat between yourselves, but there will be a dedicated Q&A section to the broadcast. So just wait until then if you have any questions from your favorite streamers, or you have any questions with regards to the game. You can just wait until then, and you are more than welcome to ask your questions then, and we will make sure to answer all of them, time permitting, that is. All right. So truly, I don't believe an introduction is necessary, but since we are having a free weekend right now with a deluge of new players joining the community, let's take a few moments and introduce everybody to the audience that might not be familiar with them. So tell us about yourselves, your gaming experience. How did you find out about No Rest for the Wicked? Or if you have some exciting news you'd like to share with the viewers, go right ahead. And I think for this section, let's start with Brian from Ginger Prime, and then we'll go to Larry, then Haise, and into the Wicked. Go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. My name's Brian, aka Ginger Prime. I've been making content for a variety of games, most notably from Final Fantasy XIV, before I retired from that game a couple years ago to focus in on getting in shape and things like that. And so far, down 80 pounds, got roughly, I think, 50 more to go until I'm kind of at that right size for my build, so to speak. And so for No Rest for the Wicked, like I hadn't heard about the game. It was like they had this original The Wicked Inside that they had, the first one, and I sat down and I watched it, and I was like, this sounds amazing. I just started getting into like Souls-like RPGs for the first time, having all kinds of better and free game times to having stepped away from like hardcore MMO playing. And so I was like, oh, these are really cool. And so went and I bought it, was it. And I was like, oh, I've got to tell people about the game. So I just continued to tell people about the game, and it has become my sole obsession outside of waiting for Sean Murray to give me any other information on Light No Fire. So I was like, yes. And it's been just an absolute blast. Like I've got, for me, for those who don't know, I'm a dad. I work full time. I got 6 kids. We got a lot of stuff going on, and I am now, well, especially with the Together update, on my way approaching 400 hours of game time. I was telling some of the devs that I've become friends with, was like, I have a feeling I'm going to go from 300 to 600 easily with the Together update, just because I love playing with people. And so that's kind of been it. So mainly I do guides and news, and I've just been kind of covering all the big news as well as the minute, pieces of information that we get from the developers. And it's been really refreshing to see the developers being as open and direct. And I try to take my role as a developer as well and kind of translate that, because I don't know if anybody else, has experienced this, but gamers tend to take concept as promises. And so it's just important to say, like, hey, they're thinking about this. This is something that's going to probably take some time if it gets implemented. Let's try to set some reasonable time expectations. And so I try to bring that to kind of my coverage as well. So
yeah,
I'm covering the game coming up on 2 years now, and it's been phenomenal. And to the fact is, like, I don't really even, like, I make a couple of review videos. I've got some stuff that I'm working on, because Dragon Quest VII, if you guys haven't played, that demo's out right now as well. Phenomenal. Like, I'm a huge Dragon Quest nerd, and so anytime I can tell people about the games that I'm passionate about is that's the whole reason I'm making videos. No,
great.
That's me. Hopefully I didn't take too much.
No, that was great.
I'm a talker.
Well, we'll have plenty of time to talk amongst us. Let's move to Larry, and let's hear a little bit about Larry's story, and then we'll go to Haise after.
Well, hi guys. So I don't know if I can top out the Brian story, but yeah. I'm Larry Puss, or Larry the Cat. Many of you know me like that from my YouTube channel. And no, I do not have a Twitch streaming account. Maybe in the future. Aside from that, I am basically 5 years old in cat years. I'll let you search how much is that. And I just love games, all of them. Let's just go with that.
All right.
Bad, honestly, bad games make for a better drama content, but I kind of try to stay away from them. I did try it for when I made a few Kingdom Come Deliverance, a little bit drama there games. People didn't like that, so I'm just gonna stick to my own stuff. Now, I've been playing games for a long time, and back a few years ago, when before the No Rest for the Wicked, I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring, and like I played a lot. I put a lot of hours into both of these games, and I was kind of looking for something new. And I was looking on the Steam has that option where you can find similar games. So that's what I was searching, and I found No Rest for the Wicked. And
Cool.
that's it hooked me from the first few hours.
All right.
The problem was the game had a lot of things that I didn't understand. Like there was no rune descriptions, enchantments. There were no tutorials back then. There was nothing. So I did search. Like there were maybe 1 or 2 videos of people saying, showing the, like just not walkthroughs, but like let's play. So I decided to make some videos, and since then I've been making a lot of videos for No Rest for the Wicked, and
You became a
Maybe
legend
from
of the community now.
that's what most of you say. But yeah.
And a
I-
father to
I-
be, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. yes.
My wife is pregnant in the 7th week now.
Congrats.
She's actually in the same room with me right now. She's watching the stream and also watching her TikTok stuff.
Well,
Uh,
That's great.
relay our congrats and our greetings to her. We're happy for both of you, obviously, and it's definitely exciting news.
In a
She
couple of
graces-
years, you'll be able to put them to work grinding
Yeah.
out any kind of materials you need.
yeah, we need a person to take out the garbage to wash
Yeah.
the dishes. We need it.
Okay, next we have Haise. I made a mistake. I used to say his name properly, but everybody's been saying it differently around me, and I lost track there. So Haise, that's the proper way of pronouncing his name. Let's go right ahead with Haise, and let's hear a little about him. If CtrlAlt is here, he could also join in, but let's hear it from Haise for now.
Hello, this is Haise. Most of you probably know me as the hardcore player who is doing hitless boss fights and pushing the game harder than necessary. I basically come from competitive background. Like I played Tekken in local scene, and I was grandmaster in League of Legends. Before I learned about Wicked, I was just basically playing a lot of Souls-like games, like Lies of P, Elden Ring, all the Dark Souls classics you can think of. And the first time I learned about Wicked was basically when I watched the Game Awards. I believe that was the time they revealed Wicked, and it was the best thing they showed in that Game Awards, I would say. So ever since that Game Awards, I've been loving the game. Ever since I fell in love with the game, and that's how it's been. Got a lot of hours in this game now, and I'm still enjoying it.
Awesome. Do you want to share how many hours you have in the game, or should we leave that?
Oh, I have humble close to 1,800 hours for anybody who's wondering.
Yeah. So for anybody who's wondering if there is a relationship between hours spent and skill level, there is one. The modifiers may be different depending on who it is spending the time. Obviously, Haise has some really, really good modifiers in that formula. But yeah, thanks for that. And so finally, we've got into the Wicked. He is probably the newest face to the community. However, the amount of content he has put out and the quality of the content he's putting out really outshines his history with the community. He's got some really, really great content. And I'm going to let him have the mic now and give you a little bit of a snippet about himself and his channel.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. Look, I want to say thank you for inviting me here. It's a great experience as a whole to be with you great people. But yeah, into the Wicked, guys. I've started my channel about roughly almost 4 months ago. What got me into No Rest for the Wicked was I was trying to find an itch, to get hooked on a game. And I was a former athlete and now med student. And so I needed to find that itch to get on the grind again. And I stumbled upon a video that highlighted No Rest for the Wicked. And I fell in love with the art style. I played games like Elden Ring, Sekiro, all the games like that. And I played the first 15 minutes and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this game. And I had no idea, nothing, no news about it. I tried to look on the internet, and it's when I ran into Larry and Wicked Builds. And so I started watching their channels to get some sort of feedback and, try not to suck because it was rough for the first playthrough. But I mean, I'm sure we all been there. We died multiple times. But
I'm still there, bro. What are you?
so yeah, it's nothing new. We die all the time. So I don't want you guys to feel like you guys are supposed to be invincible because the game's about learning. But yeah, I ran into them and I was like, you know what? Like I got into the Discord too, and I fell in love with the community. Everybody's supportive, nice. Everybody wants other people to succeed, and I was like, you know what? Like this is what the world should be like. This is what I want to give back to the community. And I was like, I'm gonna reach out to Wicked Builds, and Wicked Builds, me and him, we broke bread. He shared a little bit of light, and I started my own YouTube channel. I had some experience with content creation and whatnot, and so I went on from there, and I haven't looked back. And I want to say thank you guys for supporting me. It means a lot. Like I know um, um, some creators say that, but I do mean it. I mean it. I love interacting with you guys in the comments in the Discord. I try to make sure like no one feels like a stranger, and this is like I enjoy every part of it, and so I love where it's going. And thank you guys for making my channel, blow up. And I can't thank you guys more than that. But that's a little bit about me, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
great. Okay, so we actually have Control-Alt-Delete here also in the chat. He has a little bit of time for everyone who doesn't know. The Rookery channel is not a one-man operation. There's Haise, there's Control-Alt-Delete, and I believe they have another member. I'll let Control-Alt-Delete take the mic and do a little bit of an introduction, and here we go.
Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, I'm Control. Similarly to Haise, my journey with Wicked started around the Game Awards trailer showcase. We just fell in love with the game, and then we joined the Discord, fell in love with the community. I've been around ever since. Some of you might know me as the Elsa person in the Discord. I'm a Elsa enjoyer. I just love the game overall, the world, the art style, the gameplay changes, moons as a whole. But I really want to talk more about the Rookery than myself. The Rookery is something we founded as a mean to just get information to the community. Right now, the channel isn't really there, but educational content is on the way, and I hope that we can really share a lot of our knowledge. We have in the Rookery probably over 3,000 to 4,000 hours cumulatively, so we really want to give you all our knowledge and as much tools as new people need to succeed in Wicked. So yeah, that's all I really want to say. I hope to see you all around and have a good stream, guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you everyone for that. And obviously, I am Wicked Builds, just a guy with maybe like 50, 60 hours in the game and a couple of really badly made builds out there on YouTube for you to take a look at and see if you can use them to break the game. All right. I don't think I need to tell you much more about myself. We're here for the guests anyway. But I did notice something, and I'm sure everybody else also noticed that if you listen to what everybody was talking about, there was an innate sort of a stress on how important the community of this game has been to everyone who has been around, especially everyone who's on this podcast right now. And that is really the goal of this podcast. We want to cater to the community. We want to add as much of our knowledge, whatever knowledge we have, to the community so that everybody has a better experience playing the game. And as long as we can achieve some of that goal, I think we will all be happy. Let's get started with the questions. Question number one. These questions were provided to the guests, by the way, so they've had a little bit of time to think about it. They've obviously have had quite a bit of time on their hands with beta testing and the game testing itself, so this is their very, very informed answer to these questions. The co-op update is finally out. It is more than just a multiplayer update, in my opinion. So without getting too into the finer details of the patch, because we're going to sort of dissect this question later on, what are your overall views of the patch if you were to give sort of like a, think of it as an article abstract, if you were to put it that way. So, and whoever wants to start first, they can go right ahead.
Well, I guess I'll start first. I'll set a little bit of a tone. For me personally, I think it's great. I believe they did a lot of refinement, and it got, for me personally, it got to the point to where even for like little bugs, the co-op update has been phenomenal with the little details that they added, certain quality of life features, such as that research table. I really love that. Um, but overall, I think it's been a great experience, even with addressing the connection issues. So I want to say good job on them for that, and for the amount of pressure that they've been through. They did a really sound job for putting this out. But yeah, I'll pass it on to the next person if they want to share.
Okay.
You bring up a really good point, and I think the first thing that comes to mind is the lessons that they learned from when they did the breach update initially, and how there were definitely some issues, and they addressed those issues. But having that experience and people's kind of reaction to it, I think allowed them to really kind of hone in, focus in, and make this update substantial. And the numbers reflected. If you guys haven't seen, they just hit an all new concurrent high, all-time high, which is really exciting to see. And they're just 10K away from doubling what they were at launch. So I think beyond just how smooth the patch has been, I think the response has been really good. And I think that's overall going to help them get the fuel they need, both from, the financial aspect, because they crossed over 1 million, and hopefully they're moving many copies with this current sale that's going on, 100%. But also that excitement that the devs have of, yes, this is, oh man, people are loving it. They can't wait for the next thing. And I think that essentially is going to be the momentum that really carries them through this year, all the way up to whenever the game officially releases, which they're targeting for this year. So I think the game's in a really good state. Obviously, we all can't wait for what comes next, but the update itself has been just amazing. The performance, I don't know if you guys have been playing on handheld at all, but the performance on handheld is even better. And it's like, oh, good. So we're there. Everything is moving further and further to that release where we're starting to really say, yeah, this is getting where it's getting ready. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, super exciting for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
I'll go
think.
next.
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry. I wanted to say this because unfortunately my performance is not that amazing. So let me just say let's so honestly the patch, the co-op is amazing. I'm really happy to play together with my wife, my friends. That said, in terms of story content, we didn't get a lot. And I'm saying this because most of my videos, like a lot of people are saying, oh, there's only a few hours you can play, you can beat the game. A lot of them are complaining that there's not a lot of content for them. For me, it is. For me, it's a lot of content, especially on the build variety now, because we have the scrap table, we have the new embers that lets us completely change builds however we want. But in my case, I'm experiencing a lot of small performance issues, like I'm seeing like a low frame rate, even though the frame rate is, when I'm looking at my frame rate, like at the specs, it's still okay, but I'm getting like some, how do I say this, some micro shuttering or something like that, like it, and it's very visible in my area. And here's the thing, I tried multiple things. I tried to upgrade my video card. I tried to change all the settings from low to high to I tried everything. And this only happens in No Rest for the Wicked. I tried other games, Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, the ultra settings go perfectly. And here's the even funny part. My wife was playing on a laptop, which has lower specs than my computer. The game works perfectly on her. So this is the first time it's happened to me where I'm having these performance issues, and it's quite annoying because I'm getting dizzy. My eyes are like crying from time to time just playing the game, so I cannot
Mhm.
play for long periods of time. I did submit a ticket on their website. I hope they will fix something in the next few weeks.
I think we have a third member of
Yeah.
Rookery in chat. Am I right?
Yeah. If it's Casca Senoi, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Haise.
Yeah, I was just gonna add on to what Larry said. Basically, I was experiencing input delay. I'm not sure if he's experiencing that as well.
Something
this
like
like
that,
the first build?
like a micro delay a little bit, like the character jumps a little bit every time I'm
Exactly.
moving.
For
So not when
for every
when
single
I'm
action.
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
there's
no.
a delay.
So when I'm fighting, when I'm using my weapons and everything, nothing happens. But when I'm moving the character and the camera moves, that's when it happens.
Interesting, because yeah, similarly I'm experiencing like input delay for every single action. Basically, if I'm picking up loot, I know that animation is bugged, so I'm not just referring to that. In case you guys are wondering, what I'm talking about is input delay for every single action, whether I'm mining tools, resource gathering, and just fighting enemies. There is a delay behind every single action that I do, and game just feels sluggish and not as responsive.
And by the way,
this is like the
this
first
is
build where I'm experiencing this basically. But besides that, I would say this is the best build they have done. Like co-op, this is more than just a co-op update. Anybody who doesn't even have friends to play this game with, I would say just play this build. It's like the best thing they ever made. There's like so many changes, like great changes they have done in terms of like combat, resource gathering, timers are gone. This is easily the best build they have done by far.
All right. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Go ahead, Wicked Bills.
No, I was just gonna if in case anybody's wondering about my opinion, I think just to make it as short as possible, I think the update, I retain my original opinion that the update is 90% good and 10% needs work, but the 10% that needs work is also a very important 10%, which is something we'll get into later on as we dissect this issue. Is there anything you wanted to add to this section, or can we just move into just expanding our views on the update?
I would add one thing, and especially in regards to the 10%, is that I believe that's a conversation of trust. And I feel like these devs have definitely got that trust. So when there are issues or things that still need to be refined, like I have full faith and confidence that our feedback is getting actively reviewed. And so it's like I get people's frustration when it comes to that, like 10%. It's just like, okay, cool. Like let's let them know, because it's not, they're not deaf to our feedback. They're absolutely hungry for it. And I think that's that part of where we, as opting into early access, is a part of the fun, is that we're not the developers, but we are there to help refine this game to the point where anybody who steps in on any kind of hardware to find these like performance issues that you guys are reporting, as well as then when the console players come in, that it's like it's going to be such a phenomenal experience. And yes, we kind of had to have a little bit of pain, but that's what I would just add to that. Like, that 10%, but I do believe that they're going to handle it.
Yeah. So I'm going to just to continue on that thought. I 100% agree with what Brian said. For those of you who are new to the community and just starting out with the game, for us who have been here for a very long time and have had experience with the devs, the one thing that we can vouch for is that they are listening, and they're actively listening. I don't think there are very many people, very many devs that you can find in this day and age with a game that has sold a little over 1 million, that they will just randomly drop in Discord and listen to your complaints and your input and actively respond to it, let alone having an entire team that is basically observing everything that is going on and taking notes and actively making changes as they need to. They have been on the money with their updates and their hot fixes in the past, and I have 100% confidence in them. They will show the same amount of dedication to their game. Okay. Yeah, I think that concludes this general section. So what I'd like to do is to delve a little bit deeper into the systems of the update. And obviously, the first major change is the crafting system, right? This is completely different. Although it is similar to what we had in the past, it is almost entirely different, and it is giving you now two very distinct pathways to how you want to craft your gear. One, I would say, is the probabilistic, the old way, and the new way is the more deterministic way with the inclusion of the new enchants and the essences and the ability to get facets on your gear. The way you can look at it is the old way was like gambling with your gear, and the new way is basically rewarding you for putting time into gathering what you really need before you make a decision to gamble on anything with regards to gear crafting. So I would like to get your opinion on the current state of gear crafting. How do you feel about the new additions? And if you would change anything about it, what's good about it, what's not good about it? And here's your chance. Go right ahead.
Well, I will just say the new crafting system is like way better. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan when it was first introduced, right? With the limited rerolls you could get, that wasn't like a change I really enjoy. So now that they have gotten rid of it, I would say the crafting system is in a much better spot than it was on live. And just having like a near perfect build before Nameless Pass was kind of ridiculous for anybody who doesn't like the new crafting system. You know, that was just too much player agency, right? You can't just give player like near perfect builds just before, you know, going to Nameless Pass or just reaching Trench. I feel like that's just too much player power. So they basically had to, you know, get rid of that and introduce embers and stuff to reward like better players, right? If you're being smart, you can hold on to your gear and stuff, and you know still get all the benefits you had with the old systems. You just have to be smart about it, right? You have to wait for the unique embers we have now, to basically create your own magic build. And when I say magic, I basically mean your dream build, not exactly magic. Not a fan of that,
Just a quick
I
second.
think it's just way healthier for the game.
Yeah, I hate to cut you off, but please do continue after I say this. We have someone in the chat, Game PTSD channel. If you're not familiar with her work, she does really, really awesome videos, and they're different than what you're usually used to seeing with our channels. There are other content creators that are not here, like her, which I would like to extend my invitation to. Even if so I'm no saint, and I have had my frictions in the past with members of the community. I'll be the first one to say it. But from the position I'm sitting in right now, if you want to be on this podcast in the future, reach out to me however you want, or reach out to one of the content creators that you see here. And again, this is an open invitation to everybody, to every content creator that is working on the game, to be part of this. This is a community effort, and we do want everybody to be part of it. So yeah, again, Game PTSD, she's in the comments right now. Do check out her channel, give her a follow. She's got really, really great, and I was gonna say eccentric. They're not eccentric. They're just great. They're not the usual videos that you are expecting from a game channel. So along with other content creators that I know of, like CoffeeZilla, who's probably not in here. But yeah, let's carry on with that. I just wanted to do a quick plug-in because I saw her commenting in the chat.
Yeah. I'll just say like the game still rewards like smart players, right? If you're being smart with your embers and FXs, then you can pretty much do everything you could before. You just have to be, smart about it.
Okay.
And not just waste your embers early on, right? Early on, you're not gonna have play gear, so if you're using all your fallen embers early on, then you're gonna be in a tough spot.
Yeah,
That's
don't make
just how it
the
goes,
rookie mistake.
Yeah, exactly. You have to adapt as a player, right? That's what devs want you to do.
Exactly.
They're gonna balance the game, and you have to adapt. If you can, then were you really, like that good with the systems and the game itself?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I wanna build off that. Yeah, because like there has to be a sense of balance, right? And I know people have their mixed opinions, and I know I've said in one of my videos that The taking off the Ember reroll limit was a good thing. I also see both sides of where the hardcore players, like most of us are in some way, could see it to where, or not even just us, just those hardcore players of the community who love the grind, who love that factor of, okay, hey, I brick this gear, I'm gonna go find more gear, and now I just don't have to look at one piece and be like, okay, well, I just can unlimited reroll this, and I don't see the value in going finding anything else anymore. That part I did like, of the point where I was like, okay, I mean, I bricked this gear. I'm gonna go find something else, or something else looked, more appealing if I got it from like you just RNG. And I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? Now it's valuable to me. I did like that aspect of it. But if I were to give any feedback, if they were to like change it and bring back that reroll limit, if things were to be different, I doubt it, but I would say they would up that reroll limit. They could have done that. They could have upped the reroll limit maybe a little bit, put it to
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 20 rerolls, and then for the plague red rarity, for the magic, the blue rarity, give it like 15, and then have an ember. Make another ember that would help us, which they did. I believe that's that void ember. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, that brings it back and resets it to the white.
Yeah,
And
to the
I
common. Yeah.
yeah.
Ember.
And so
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool to do it that way, because we all love the game also because it brings that loot system and the stat numbers. And that's one thing I was like, okay, I mean, like it can go both ways. There's options. And I was also wondering about, actually, we'll get in that later, but yeah, it was that. And then I liked how they added that craft. They gave a different experience or play style for those who do not want to go and just go to Crucible farm, or go to the outbreaks, or go just go out and explore and find gear. You could now farm the research paper and go to that table, and then keep cycling and find the gear you want. It's more of a straighter line, for those who like don't have the time, or are people who not to say lack the patience, but want things a little bit more in a speedier way. So
Yeah.
I want to applaud them on that, for giving them both avenues, to decide on whether you want to be this player or this type of player. And that's one thing I think they did a good job. But yeah, going back to the reroll limit, I think that's something they could have done, just and then I wouldn't think that would have been a problem, But
Yeah.
yeah.
Brian or Larry, or if you're in,
I don't craft.
you don't.
I haven't touched the crafting system before, and I do like the research papers,
Yeah.
and I do like that they still have like recipes
Okay.
in the game that you can get and learn, etc. So I was like, oh man, is it just completely replacing that? And so it's that other avenue, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. So I've unlocked some things, but namely at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to getting to the point where I am doing crafting, but I'm having too much fun, man. That
Yeah.
bow that you gifted me, it's just too good. So I'm like, I'm having a hard time not being in the Crucible. So it's
Yeah.
like, and then on that note, though, I really appreciate that the Crucible has materials and drops back again, because that ends up making it where I'm having a really good time, and I'm getting things, and I'm able to do upgrades. So at the end of the day, I'm very
Yeah.
pleased. So I was like, well, I'm not going to really weigh in on the
Yeah.
crafting, having never crafted
Well,
anything.
Larry is a big crafter. I remember when I was just looking for videos for the game, like he was probably one of the only people who had anything out of sword available, and he had like one of the only crafting guides at the time. So I'm pretty sure Larry has a little bit of an opinion on this matter. So let's hear it from him.
Okay, so where do I start? So the limitation on embers and enchantment gears, plague, all of these are just simply amazing. But they're more for us, for people who have like maybe 100 hours, maybe more, maybe less, but around there. Maybe people who beat the game. They will let us make some of the most insane builds that we can almost one-shot the end boss in the Crucible. Can anyone agree with me with this?
Almost.
I agree.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
play?
Yeah, I agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. Yeah.
Do you want
But
me?
I'm
Do you want me to?
double-edged.
Do you want me to play the one shot in that screen?
You can do that. Let me get to my point. So this is a tip for new players. I'm gonna tell you right now: save your embers. Don't engage with the enchantment gear at all. Like the game right now lets you find lots of gems. Fishing gives you gems. Digging gives you gems. Every chest gives you some kind of gem. And I've done some of the most powerful builds, like my demon build. This is my favorite build so far in this patch. And I tried a few other builds, but it's still my most the best build I've done so far. And I'm only using gems there. Like you can make some amazing builds with common items where you can swap the gems anytime you want. And this is really good because from the very start of the game, whenever you swap gems, you're not destroying the items, you're not destroying the gems. You're just spending a little bit of money to swap these gems, and you're gonna find a lot of gems. And especially early on, you can add experience gems into your gear with a little bit of defense, with a little bit of a stamina regeneration or stamina, like increasing your maximum stamina. Like you won't even have to put any points into your stamina, and you're gonna have huge amount of stamina just by using gems. So just as a tip for new players, just use common gear with gems, at least at the start of the game, and you're gonna have a blast with the game. You just upgrade your item level and just add gems to them. And after that, after you progress a little bit further into the game, and you gather a little bit more embers, you can start crafting, spend some money, and enchant items, getting some critical hit chance, critical damage, taunts. Like there's so many effects now, especially I love the barrier. I've been testing the barrier for the last day, and it's insane.
We were
But yeah,
going
that's
to.
my
Yeah, we were going to have a section for your advice to new players, so Larry kind of like jumped to the end of there.
sorry. But this is about the
Yeah. No, but this is a really good.
the same topic.
No, this is great advice actually. No complaints about it. For me
I'm gonna
personally,
have more advices. Don't worry.
I'm sure you will. We're counting on it. For me personally, I think this might be a little bit of a controversial opinion. I think that the Ember reroll cap could have worked if they kept it and they introduced the new system with the essences right now. So that would kind of give it some sort of a balance. But then again, because we don't know yet, this is like super early. These are like early impressions, right? But I think they could have kept the reroll cap, and then they would have also given us the chance to basically go the pathways that are available right now. You can take everything that you need without ever having to reroll right now, right? If you have enough gear sitting in your inventories, you can just go pick and choose to take out every single enchantment that you like and store it and put it into your gear. No reroll required anyway, right? So I think.
Or you could do it the other way. You could have fallen embers and not have to use essence embers or any embers at all.
Yeah, but then
It's
again, like
it works both ways, right?
It's really hard to have a conclusive opinion on it without knowing the actual numbers behind essence drop rate. How are people doing? I have my own sort of a research going on the side, but again, the sample size is not representative and all that. We'll leave that for another time probably, or maybe in this podcast, if we had some time, I'll pull up some graphs and we can talk about it. But let's move to the next one.
Can I say one more thing about
the...
Yeah?
Yeah, I was just going to add on to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Larry. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, so I was talking about the gems. Like, I've beaten the whole campaign and the Crucible with no echoes just by using a gem build. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
If anyone,
Yeah. I just want to add on to what Larry said earlier, right? All these changes reward players who are smart about the game, not the new players. So, you gotta have to sort of find sort of a balance, right?
Yeah.
We can't pretend that it doesn't affect new players, that, they're gonna be getting embers early on, and breaking their builds and not having a clue on what to, do with the new embers. Like, it's just
we're
not very complex, right? We know this because we are experienced players.
Yeah.
Anybody who's new is gonna have a bad time with all these new changes.
Yeah.
Like they would have a better time in previous builds, just because
Yeah.
of the way you would get the plagued items, right? Even the plagued items you would get had better affixes.
Yeah.
They weren't like, and right now it's just impossible to get like a plague item early on.
Yeah, which
Anybody
brings
who's playing the build right now would know.
yeah, that brings the point up, which has been the point for a very long time. And I know we're in early access, and this is probably it might not be fair, but I think for the release, actually, we're gonna have a much better of a tutorial. Where if you have a system like that that could break a player's build right away, they would be warned about it, basically, right? If you're gonna use your Ember, hey, you can only use this 10 times, and if you break your equipment, then that's on you, sort of thing. But again, you're completely right. We don't know how these changes go with new players, and it's often very hard for somebody who has spent so much time into the game trying to break every system available to try to look at it from that perspective. So the best way to do it is to look at data from players, hopefully, and see how they're doing, and what player power curve looks like in reality, and take it from there. So we talked about, we sort of had a little bit segues into armor, affixes, and all that, but I wanted to get your opinion on the armor and weapons that have received significant changes in the form of new affixes, right? And then we've also had some balancing changes that they've applied to certain weapons, and they did balance performances on most of the weapons that were overperforming, but they're doing some really big changes to the unique weapons. So what are your thoughts on these, and how do you receive them, or how do you think they could improve on these ideas that they've had?
Can I go then?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's let me just say this before I get into that. I think these balances that they're doing, I'm not a game developer. I don't know this, but I think they should actually deliver the class system and have like a base system for building your character, and then start balancing stuff. Because right now we're doing they keep balancing things, and then they're changing the whole system again, and then a lot of players remain frustrated. Like I don't have a problem testing this, but I'm seeing a lot of people in my chat saying like, oh, they changed the system again. Yeah, they changed the system. Yeah, that's one thing. Second thing, I think the armors are missing the elemental effects, the elemental resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the intended way to go, because we do see that we get elemental resistance in our character stats, but with the armors themselves, they don't have that effect there anymore.
Yeah, I made a post about that actually on the forum when they put out the patch notes.
Yeah, I made 2 videos about it,
Yeah.
talking about it. This was before the release of the patch in the experimental, and they still haven't.
So I generally think that's not good for armor identity. I think that is just turning your armors into basically stamina and focus skins at this point. So I don't know.
Let me just say,
yeah.
Let me just say, I love that. I love that right now the heavy armor gives you less, stamina regeneration, less focus and everything, and cloud gives you more. I love that.
Okay.
But I also want to
it's
see
like the best. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. I also want to see the resistance that they give.
Yeah. But isn't
that would be nice to see.
I like that.
Isn't resistances now calculated based on the amount of armor you have?
That's it. We don't know, because we cannot see them. We see the numbers changing in character menu, but we have to like keep going back and forth, and we don't really.
Yeah,
we really need.
Yeah,
we really need a detailed character menu with everything telling us where that it's coming.
My guess is that the resistances are not calculated based on the amount of armor you have, which is, it's the problem is this is exactly the opposite of what we had before. You had less armor before on cloth, but you had more resistances, right? And as you move up into the armor category, you gain armor and you keep losing resistances.
Yeah,
so,
resistances. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which was great, honestly. I don't know if it still does that, right? Like you have to actually go through the menu every time to just see if it's affecting your character or not. But yeah, like the overall changes are great. I think like it makes sense that if you're wearing a heavier armor, you're gonna have less stamina regen, and you're gonna have to like think about dodging a lot more, right? You have to manage and invest into stamina.
Yeah.
and basically all that. And focus gain is great too. Like if you're being an assassin, right, or fast, dual wield some weapon like a gauntlet or dual blades. I
Yeah.
think it's great. You can gain extra focus, on you if you're wearing cloth.
Have you noticed
But
anything? Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, as for balancing the weapons, right?
Yeah.
Some of the weapons were in like really absurd state, right? I'm talking like the short cleaver. That thing was absurd. Like it should not remain in that state. And like Malice was pretty strong. Harvester Dread is like pretty absurd. So like just balancing those, just
Yeah.
tuning down their numbers, I think is fine. Even if they're making all these systematic changes,
Yeah. What
I
about
think it's just fine to.
what about Sinew? Do you think Sinew needs a
Sinew?
buff? Sinew needs a buff.
Sinew, I have,
Sinew needs a buff.
I have no idea why Sinew has a
If-
utility rune in one of his legendary runes. It
If
makes
Thomas is
absolutely no
watching,
sense. Yeah.
if Thomas is watching, Sinew
I
needs
don't
a
think
buff.
it's that bad of a weapon, honestly. Like I think it's decent, right? Like in terms of
Yeah.
uniques, but like then you have like stuff like CSP, right? Which have like some of the best rune set, like in terms of runes. Like CSP is probably the best unique in the game if you're
Yeah.
just talking pure runes.
Yep.
But if you talk about moveset and weapon as a whole, it's like one of the worst weapons in the game, right? You cannot use that unless you can parry. You cannot use CSP versus like all these enemies like witches and Nit. They're too fast. Like you don't have a single attack to basically interrupt them, right?
Well, funny
I mean,
you
you could.
Yeah, funny you bring up CSP. We have a really dedicated CSP player. If you watch any of his videos, Brian really likes that sword.
Wait, really? I mean, we have some like CSB enjoyers in our server. There's like few.
Yeah.
Just to name yeah,
They
we have
flock.
like
Yeah.
yeah, they flock together like all these CSB players.
Yeah.
And-
I love it. I love that weapon.
And you know
man.
what's funny? All of them know like the weapon is not great, but
Yeah.
it's just part of the meme and they enjoy playing with that weapon.
What-
So it's just kind of turned into this whole fucking meme, which I
Yeah. What
I
what
respect
I
that. It's fun.
Yeah, what I like here, like, because Brian has a different perspective on gameplay. Like, the amount of time he has in the game and the way he plays the game is totally different than us. So,
Yeah.
Brian, have you noticed anything monumental with the changes to armor and weapons in your play style and in your time?
So essentially, no, because like at the end of the day, like I feel some of the difference in the changes, right? Like it's just like, oh, I like how this kind of plays, and I like kind of reading about what it's doing, but I'm not so hyper obsessed about min maxing because the other aspect of the game is that Souls like experience. There is a skill thing that you can bring to the fight where people can do these things like completely naked and still find time to have success. I think essentially though, to kind of bring it to the whole topic, the lack of the class system makes really kind of any feedback and thoughts that I have, like I'm like I have to wait till that's in place because I don't have the time to go out. I have multiple characters at level cap, mostly focusing in on single stats, right? So I have my dex max, I got my strength max, I got working on int, faith, like I'm just keeping it single statted, but that limits the choice of weapons that I can truly play around with in terms of the play style. And so I, for one, am just like, give me the class system. I can't wait to play with these weapons and not have to feel like I'm kind of being, hamstrung
Yeah.
by the current attribute style system. And so it's like, yeah, I'm like, I'm having fun. Like it's like as I play, I'm like, is this fun? Yes. And then I'm like, and then what I do is I end up just saying, hey, I'll do a couple of runs of Crucible, and then I'm like, all right, like I wonder if I could, what if I tweak this and see what happens? But it isn't like, that's why I love the work that you guys all put in, especially like with Wicked Builds. It's like, oh man, you figured out this thing and it's chaotic and it's just so much fun and cool to see. And then that becomes aspirational content. But I have this, especially when it comes to anything, is that if I'm not having fun, like I'm not going to get mad at the game because I can't, stop playing it, right? Like if I get to the point where I'm like, I don't really want to play right now, I don't. And so I think that ends up just being a little bit of that life balance. And for me, it ends up being something that's just naturally built in. Like I could sit down and play the Crucible. It might take me 3 hours because I play for 10 minutes and then I got to go change a diaper and then we got to go do this other thing. And then I'm like, I'm still here. And then I come back. I'm like, did anybody find me and kill me? No. All right, let me go ahead and continue on, which is way better, is way more fun to do, like when I was trying to do like raiding in Final Fantasy 14, where it's like I'd get into the fight and then 5 minutes into the fight, like, oh, a kid fell down and scraped their knee, you know, my DPS drops to 0. So anyway, that hopefully helps answer y'all's question. My thoughts on it all.
Before I take Into the Wicked's opinion on this, I just wanted to say that we are at the 1 hour mark. I don't know how everybody's feeling, but I think the conversation is flowing, so we could go on for a little longer, but that's up to everybody else. I know everybody has their own schedule. I can have another hour, but if you guys feel like we should stick to the 2 hour limit, I will have to maybe cut short the rest of the questions and make some general comments in order to get everything in. So how do you guys feel about that?
I think I could do 30 more minutes if that's okay. If, you know, if
Like-
you're all cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can do 2.5 hours, you guys think?
Oh, sorry, 2.5? Like we've only been live for an hour, right?
Yeah. So like 2.5 hour total. So another hour and
Oh
a
no,
half.
I think yeah, I think I probably have about 30 minutes.
Oh, so you have
I might get another hour from now.
okay.
We'll see. I just
Okay,
literally saw the dog run down the street. And my
Okay,
wife's
so
chasing
if you
after
only
him.
have half an hour, okay, that's good information. Okay, so this was supposed to be the end of the stream activity, but since you only have another half an hour, let's do this activity now and gives the audience something fun to look at too, just besides us yapping. And we will get back to you Into the Wicked on this. We'll get your opinion on this. I haven't forgotten. So what I would like you gentlemen to do is to get up from your seats and walk towards the foyer and assemble at the foyer for the Wicked Frenzy. And I will explain to you what that activity is going to entail. So I told you before, show up with no armor that has any affixes, nothing on you that will give you an unfair advantage. So I believe you all have. Where are you going Into the Wicked?
Too far.
Too far. Oh, we got somebody already naked. So, y'all need to take off your armor and everything. Put it in. Either you can put it into that big chest that's in that room behind you, or you can just keep it in your inventory. Then what you're going to do is you're going to quickly run into town, and you will procure yourselves armor and weapons only from the vendors. You can buy anything available to you that the vendors have to offer, and you have 5 minutes to do this. You will grab everything you need, then you will head to the Crucible, and we're gonna watch how far you will get in the Crucible with the armor and weapon that you have found. You can also buy gems, so it's a first come first serve thing. You can push each other off of vendors if you want to. You can do whatever you want to get an advantage. So head out there and grab everything you need and meet at the Crucible for the rest of it.
Oh man,
Okay.
start trolling people. There's a little secret. I'm gonna see if I can show the chat right now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can win. See if somebody is here we go. Here we go. Unless they patched
Oh
it.
man, I was hoping he'd have some rings for sale.
Oh, they patched it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, they patched your
they
trick.
patched it.
Yeah, I knew they patched it, but I didn't want to tell you. So
Oh, brutal. Brutal. Anyways, yeah. Let's see what we got here. What we got? What do we got? What we got? Oh, okay. Okay.
So I did upgrade all your vendors, so the weapons and armor you're buying are going to be at a decent level. Hey, stop that.
And then he's still gonna be talking about embers to respec or what? Or
That's
are
the
we not doing
second
that?
part. That's the second part.
Okay.
So you will only have one try at this. So,
Okay.
but then there will be a twist to that also. So let's get the first try going, and then the
Let me
next
see
try
here.
is going to be a lot more interesting.
Region. You know what? Okay. All right, we're gonna figure this out here. You know what? I guess so. That's all I got room for. We'll
Okay, I
figure
don't-
this out. I wonder how heavy I'm gonna be with this. Or
Well,
do I
I'm
really
good to
need
go.
decisions. We've got 2 more minutes, boys.
agile? Unless.
It's not like we can
unless-
upgrade, right?
No, you cannot.
Well,
Go.
yeah, I think.
What about change
everything
change
I
some
need.
stats?
Right at for this
yeah, I need
run.
to respec at least. Like,
No.
it's-
For this run, you don't do anything. Okay, you'll get your chance to do that. Just hold on. This is one run. Let's see how far you get.
We're gonna
my
look
God,
like
there's-
headless chicken.
There's no pants here. We need some pants.
yeah, there's no bats. There's like one I took. That's the one I'm using.
But yeah,
I
Yes.
didn't even grab gloves. I didn't grab gloves. I just put.
yeah. Well,
Where did you
helmet.
find any of that gear? I'm still naked. I got a weapon though.
you have a weapon. Is it a ranged
Uh,
weapon?
different body.
Yeah, I got a bow and I got gauntlets.
What? That's
Jimmy,
good.
there's stuff
No,
over here, brother.
there's some stuff at the.
At the
Yeah.
mirror.
Oh yeah,
mirror and mirror.
the itinerary.
Over here, brother.
Oh man, I always forget about the twins. It's like,
yeah, I'm like, I upgraded everything. They should have a good array of things for you to buy.
What is Greenwich have? Greenwich, you got anything cool?
So we don't respect.
No, not for this run. No, not for this run.
Okay.
I got
Oh my God.
136 health. This is so funny.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the Crucible.
All right, Crucible it is. All right.
We're
Okay.
fighting here. We're killing each other before we enter.
Okay, Larry, go ahead. Charge attack me.
Are you gonna parry
Once
that?
more. Yeah, I'm trying to.
This is gonna
um,
be
Like,
very
the
fun.
windup is so long.
We tried normal attacks you can parry from players. I'm not sure you should be
Holy
able
shit, you
to.
parry me.
Pretty cool. You can
That's
parry
what
each other.
That's what I'm known for, Neuro.
Dude, what's my point there? I got
All right.
44.
Okay, so if you guys are
having the
ready,
Crucible
let's get this show started. Everyone in the chat, whoever you're rooting for. This is not
We're all gonna
a.
die.
So I found a weapon with voltaic. Gain lighting infusion. By the way, I forgot to say this, that the facets I think is the best addition to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, facets are great. Yeah.
I got keen. This is critical chance. All right.
Okay. So you are allowed to take echoes. So just so you know.
Okay.
All right.
So you can't use echoes to your
This
advantage.
is gonna be so
that's
many
a
enemies.
that's a buff I
Okay,
haven't used in a
I'll let you
long
guys
time,
go tank it,
so-
and I'll pick up everything.
Alright, I'll be the first one to go.
Smart move, smart move. Oh, great. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this guy.
Well, my FPS are gone.
Oh, I'm dead.
Jeez.
What's going on? I have
Oh, there's
like
people.
20 FPS.
Got no health.
So into the. Oh
There
my.
I go.
Well, it's the first level, so they can get back to it quickly.
Oh man.
Get back in there. Okay, try to stay alive a little longer because you are the spectator here. We can't really spectate.
Oh my god.
Get out of there.
What is going on?
Get out.
What's going on here, guys? Good
Oh.
lord.
Oh, I almost killed the knight, so that's kind of
There,
nice.
let's team kill.
Oh, it got me.
Oh, I'm gonna try to team kill if I can.
Oh.
Where's everybody out here? Heads up.
We go back in.
Oh my
Holy-
god. This is my second death.
Oh no, where am I going?
Are you counting how many times we died?
No, I'm
already
not.
died
I'm
once.
just enjoying the view.
Like we barely do any damage because we haven't respect.
Oh, that knight's coming for you. Boom.
Oh my god, he blocked me.
What did it feel like for your story to be untold and then
This is gonna be a story of getting past the first floor.
Oh.
Well, this is roughly what I expected, and the whole point
Oh my
is
God.
for the viewers, this is what happens when you don't have the right equipment. You can have really, really good players, but they will be out there struggling.
Oh,
well,
hey, man.
Crucible isn't designed around, you know, like level 1, you know, characters. Just trying to.
You're level 1? You were supposed to be level 30.
Yeah, because. Yeah, but
Yes,
like it doesn't
no
matter if I
stamina.
don't have the stats. I'm level 1.
Oh,
Besides my health attribute, right? If you don't let me respect, I am level 1 character. That's how stats work.
cameraman is getting the short end of the stick here. I don't know. Maybe everybody else is dying as much, but we can only really count how many times Into the Wicked has died.
That's great. Because I haven't died, you know. Maybe once.
Oh my god, he got the backstab.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's dead. Very nice.
Is he?
See, we're
Oh
doing
my
it.
gosh.
Did we kill everyone?
Yeah, we got this.
Oh my
We just
God.
need
There's more.
What do you mean, everybody? Let's see.
Let's backstab him.
Got him. Moving out. Two more incoming, two more behind us. Larry.
I see them.
I'm gonna bring him down.
yeah.
You guys want to bring him down?
Please.
Yeah, bring him down. Let Larry hit him with the hammer.
Well,
There you go.
Yes, I got enough.
Bring him.
boost from
Heads
that.
up.
Oh shit.
Watch out for
Oh my god, he
them.
froze me. No.
I'm gonna help Larry.
Are you kidding me? He has the same hammer as me.
Heads up, incoming. Trying to distract him, see if someone can get a backstab on him. Oh my god. Where's this guy at?
Get him, boy. Oh, that was a good one, Larry. I saw that.
There we go.
Oh, I cannot hit him while you're backstabbing him.
yeah, they're immune. Well,
Heads up, Larry's coming in.
well in the backside.
Oh, we got a little 4-on-1.
But this guy has the same movements as the hammer I'm using right now.
We should probably not get backstabs, honestly. We're better off just dealing damage.
Nice.
All right. All right. All right.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Okay, hold on. Brian, do you think you have a little bit more time than 15 more minutes, or you need to go in 15?
The noise that I keep muting from the stream, I think we probably got 15.
You got 15. All right. So let's go back to the lounge right now.
Everybody killed himself.
Everybody just kill yourselves and go back to the lounge.
Everybody drowned.
No, we can use the teleport.
The
I
return.
mean, if we are really trying to die, there's like 3 big glooms, you know?
Yeah.
Might
There
be
we
easier
go.
to just get.
It takes no time at this.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
these
That
guys
was
are-
fun.
here's
These guys
a
are great
Already
at killing you.
so the takeaway, they were able to do it with teamwork. It took them about 10 minutes to clear the first floor, but they did it, and they did it with every disadvantage you could have thought about. Now let's go back to our little lounge and go back to that big room with 4 chests in it.
That was an experience,
Mhm.
to say the least.
The
Good
nuclear
God.
experience.
All right, let's
But like that's like another thing to atone. Like you die a lot. Like it's part of the game. It's okay to die.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So in this room there are 4 chests, and in every chest there is a set of runes. Some hey, don't look right now. Wait. Stop looking.
All right, all right.
Stop peeking. So there are weapons in there. There are also runes and some gems, and 1 ring, I believe, for everybody. There are some interactions you can think of with what's in there, so I'll leave it up to you to do a little bit of brainstorming. Go right ahead, see what you want. Only pick what's in the chest.
Well, there's 24
Oh,
embers. Can
okay.
I take them all?
Yeah, you
keep
can
embers.
you can take the embers. You take all the embers so that you can respec, and you'll take whatever is in the chest.
And leave nothing for the rest. That's kind of messed up.
No, who's the rest? Each person gets a chest. So what's in the chest is yours.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Oh, I hate you, Wicked Bills. Give me a plague with fire
Somebody's probably getting unlucky. All on sale, you know.
Yeah, well,
But
getting
you
24
went to
members.
my chest, but I already emptied it.
so you,
Safe to say I was
You-
kind
you-
of lucky there.
so you are able to trade with each other at this point. So whatever you found in the chest, if you think
Oh,
you can give to each other and make something better with it, you can also do that.
Anyone wants the legendary dagger, dual daggers?
I'm gonna keep what I got here.
Well,
I
I got Storm Piercer. For anybody who doesn't know, this is the strongest rune in the game for the one-handed weapon.
Oh,
It's
look at you!
absolutely
Good selling
absurd.
point.
Yeah, what? That's why I put it in there.
So
Everything that
So
was
then-
in there had a little bit of thought behind it. So,
the Crucible, respect. Go from there.
all right. So you can also, if you've picked up gems, you need to go and use your gems if you want to. If you want to infuse your weapon with the gems, turn them into something. Also, there were runes in there if you want to use. You can just head to the to Eleanor's. You have 2 more minutes to do this, and then we get the Crucible started. And this is the run you're going to try and
Oh, there's no
finish.
respect totem. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, let's put some,
Oh.
refineries into this. That
Okay.
helps.
Okay, if you want to.
Does anybody want Sunbeam? Because it's a sword, strength, and faith.
Okay, so if
Maybe.
if you want, you can just hop back to your own realm and respec and come back with the Yeah, I didn't think about that. I should have thought about that.
Oh, is anyone else doing that?
Oh.
Is anyone gonna go
Nah,
back and
I'm not
respect?
gonna.
It's not?
I ain't gonna respect.
I mean, I'm gonna
I would
respect
build
for
I would
sure,
do
yeah.
another character
Okay.
rather than respect.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We're not respecting.
If no, you can respec if you want to. So like hop in and out quickly if you want to respec.
I mean, if nobody's respecting, then it's kind of
Yeah,
lame.
nah.
you
No,
know?
I'm not gonna
If
respect.
Ginger's not gonna do it, I'm not. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do
Your
it.
other option
I'm not
is
gonna do
to
it.
see if somebody else has a weapon that matches the specs that you have.
Right. That's what
Well,
like if
it's
anybody
safe to say
wants the sword.
there's not gonna be anything different.
I have
right?
intelligence. Who has an intelligence weapon?
Intelligence weapon. Mm.
It's like,
Oh, me.
sorry, buddy. You're on your own, dude.
Yeah. It's gotta be
I
great.
didn't. I put all my points into equip load and health before coming here, so I don't have anything.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
No,
we
this is
can
actually
play
a
actually
good
Wicked
point,
Bills,
though,
right?
man. Like,
What?
Wicked Bills did not get us the respec unlocked. Otherwise, we
Yeah.
could have shown you guys something good, you know?
nah, don't worry about it.
I fell before
Let's see. So this is infuse. So let's see.
You know, another thing they need to add, especially in
given?
co-op,
Yeah,
if
let's
someone
write this
speaks
down.
to one vendor, they need to let us speak with, with that
Yeah,
vendor as well.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It was the focus cost one, right? I thought I took a focus cost gem. Oh, I don't know where I went.
Well, if anybody's enchanting, I can give some embers, you know?
are you guys enchanting?
What you can
I'm
use?
not
thinking about
enchanting.
it.
I'm just using gems I had. Yeah, I'm not.
Well, you
Okay.
can use your embers to reroll stuff on your weapons.
Yeah, you kind of hooked me up here with this one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, the
Gotta
what?
look it up.
Okay, so the point. Truth be told, the stuff that was in there at your level of experience should be good enough to get you pretty far into the crucible. So
in
let's
that case-
go. Let's get it going. We got 10
No, it
more
doesn't
minutes.
matter if we don't have attributes for our weapons. What?
Yeah. Well,
Experience
yeah.
doesn't matter. If you're not using those attribute points, then experience doesn't matter.
Okay, you still
Let's
got a
see.
minute. You can go back and you can respec.
Yeah, but
If
every one
we're
of
not
us is
respecting,
waiting
that's the
at
thing. We
Eleanor.
cannot respect.
Huh?
Yeah, if everybody was respecting, then I would.
Everyone is waiting at Eleanor.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
then
bu-
go.
I'm just waiting because I was gonna roll some random dice on her on these things.
This is honestly a pretty fun activity, dude. It's getting everybody out of their comfort
Yeah,
zone.
well, it's the first time we're doing it, so this is also going to be the
Good old
one of the
inaugural.
Maybe
main.
we can do some challenges like this more later on.
Oh
like in the
yeah,
next podcast.
yeah, we're going to 100%. This was just like
But stuff like let's run away, let's run and see whoever gets to that point faster or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. If you guys come up with anything of this sort, let me know. We will definitely do them. And because I didn't want to just sit there and talk our heads off. Give something to the people to watch. Actually, that's fun to watch. And I think this
Are
is.
you gonna end after this? You're gonna end, or we can talk more about
No,
the...
we're gonna talk more. I think just Brian might have to leave us.
Yeah, I probably have to leave.
Yeah, but then
Apologize.
after that, we will definitely keep on with the conversation.
I
There's still-
wanted to talk a bit the end game.
Yeah,
the end
yeah.
game of the...
Yeah, we're gonna get there. That's also there. That's all there. So we have time. I have about another hour that I can stick around, even more if need be. But I think that would be it for the first one. All right, let's see how you guys are going to do this time with a little bit
Is
of.
Ginger here?
Same.
I'm coming. I'm just doing a little bit of just picking some things.
It's not gonna be perfect, brother.
I know.
Just pray for death. We look forward to death.
Yeah.
We look forward to it. That's the best part, dude. Anytime we're playing with co-op, multiple people, everybody's looking at each other. Who's gonna drop first? Oh my god! All right, buddy.
All right, I'm coming.
I'm coming. I'm so slow.
Well, they're trapped.
What's
kinda.
this? What's this?
Here
I
we
can
go.
play.
Oh, Larry with stabby there.
It's alright, Ginger. Don't worry. We're still dealing with these guys.
Wait, I'm here.
What? You already died into the wicket? I thought
Your
you said I hooked you
savior.
up.
You did. You hooked me up with death,
Your story to be untold,
man.
told again.
You know the drops that we get in the Crucible are not that good.
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like they
'cause you
could
can
be a
sell
little bit
and-
better.
Oh, somebody's doing some big damage there. Who's that?
It's,
The fire bombs.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Ginger with the bow there.
Yes, I rolled Eleanor. Let's see here. I didn't do any re-rolls, but it is a curse bow now.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Oh, I could
Let's see,
probably.
what do we got here? Jesus Jones.
Maybe you want to strategize a little bit here? No? Leroy it? All right. Leroy jacking as it is.
Who's over here? Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up.
Yeah.
He's getting trapped on the side.
Okay, all right, you guys are going to have to reset because our cameraman is dead, basically.
I died,
Oh,
guys.
no.
It's over.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
over.
let's reset and give this one more try. And I'm gonna have to ask Mr. Into the Wicket to be a little bit more careful with his movements. We need him. We don't have a spectate option. So act like you're being
Oh, dude,
protected.
spectate option would be huge. That'd be really
Yeah,
nice.
it should be there, right? Like even if
Alright,
you're doing
On this one, I'm gonna hang back a little more so everybody can. get
yeah.
more,
Wait, so we
co-op.
die? We kill each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, we die basically.
Yeah, we died. The
But this is the best flag to die to, Larry.
the
We
cameraman
cannot jump
died.
from here. We cannot. Come on, kill us. Oh, there we go.
We have a technical issue. Cameraman
Well, he
down.
keeps missing.
Okay, Mr. Cameraman, I need you alive. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good.
Don't
I'll
worry.
protect Wicked.
I'll be
into the Wicked.
spectating.
You're gonna stay far back. Don't get the cinematic view.
Everybody's like, look, man, I'm trying to take care of
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I'm barely.
Yeah, you
Just stay
definitely.
close enough that enemies actually scale, right? We don't want this to be too easy.
Yeah.
Where's this guy? Come on, jump down. You gonna jump down?
Oh
Oh,
my god.
that guy's gone.
Whoa. All right.
Oh, okay.
Brian is actually doing some decent damage there with that bow.
Oh, we got a
Heads up,
wolf
heads up.
behind us.
No damage.
That's a lot of enemies.
Oh, good job, Ginger.
Thanks. The I got and then I re-rolled and got a bunch of like
Heads up,
crit
heads up, watch-
chances. Like, so
oh,
this
my.
is like I'm probably rocking about like a 75% crit chance.
Shit.
Ow,
I
ow,
run
ow.
down.
And I got no stamina.
This is the worst chamber.
Get him!
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Gotta
This
roll, gotta
way.
roll, gotta roll, gotta roll. Oh no, they got it.
Well, it's the 1st level,
I'm
so you
trying to
can
stay
come
alive
back.
so everybody can come back. I'm trying to just hang here.
Oh, I'm here.
There might be guys right there.
Stay up on the edge and just
Oh,
play.
Don't worry,
Side
room
guys.
I'm gonna try to stay alive so everybody can come back.
Who's shooting those?
All right, you can fight this guy. Come on. Into the wicket, get him. You can parry him. Oh my god.
Backstab,
Watch out.
grab out of me.
Oh man, he just like one tapped them.
What did it feel like for your story to be untold and then told again?
There we go. How many enemies are left? Like
Dude, I
three?
love the friendly fires in this game.
Like 3 people left? We're doing like such bad damage.
Yeah, I'm doing 6 and
Dude, I'm doing 11. I hit 11.
I'm hitting them for more. 33, 32, and
Got
then
136 health.
with
Where's
fire, and then with bleed.
I think
everybody's health at?
ow.
I'm at 247.
Oh, must be nice.
yeah, when there's fire, I just cannot see.
Oh no, they knocked me into the pool. Oh, it's just a pool. Never mind.
oh, they've changed it? It doesn't kill
Yeah,
you anymore?
Heads up.
It didn't. I just.
Oh.
It was really quite nice, refreshing even.
It's
Oh.
random. Sometimes it's a pool. Sometimes you fall down to that.
Into the wicket, do you want to check that chest? Just show people who don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, if you guys don't
The
know,
secret chest.
you can go over
Mhm.
here. If the camera lets me show. There's a chest over here, guys. And you can-
Larry. Oh,
Sorry.
good no.
And there's stuff in here. That you
No,
can
it's
grab.
fine.
Well,
I'll let Ginger take it.
is there something in
Oh.
there that matches somebody else's stats?
We got a strength. Anybody here a strength build? They got a gilded 12 bill.
I got Dex. I can use Dex if
Oh,
anybody has.
I got
Dex.
one of the most rare
I'll
ones.
take this for
intelligence.
my strength build and play around with it.
Does anybody have Dex weapon on them? Anything?
I think Larry
I
has
have a
Dex,
bow
but-
and I have
Dex,
and I've
but I
gauntlet.
don't have any
But-
decks on me.
Do you have stats for? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm all
it-
decked, baby.
if you have an extra Dex, just give one to Haise. But if not, we can go.
Heads up. See who's over here.
And here's another thing with all these elemental effects, it's kind of hard to
They need to
play.
give you the ability to turn them off.
Yeah. Or just
Or
tone it
Scale
down a
them
little bit.
Scale them up and scale them. Let the player choose. Like, oh,
Yeah.
'cause I kind of find it very enjoyable.
No, it's enjoyable when definitely if you're playing solo, it's nice to
Oh,
see those
fair,
effects,
yeah.
but probably there should be some fine tuning to visual effects when it comes to co-op gameplay.
yeah. I think it would look way off if we just turn it off, right? I think it just needs to be toned down a bit.
Yeah.
That would be.
There you go. Stamina broke. Where's this guy at?
Ooh. Survive. Cameraman live.
Oh, I died.
Oh, that plague right there.
Mhm.
All right. How many survivors do we have? 3?
3.
Yeah, that's
All right.
just me who died.
That executing damage.
That's funny. He died right on the half-hour mark that he wanted out.
Yeah, I know. Funny you mentioned the.
Funny you mentioned that. Is there was
Backstab.
was
Dude,
that
that did nothing.
intentional?
Larry's just staggering me.
That literally did nothing.
Guys, this has been really fun. Thank you so much for putting it together and for the invite. I really had
Hey,
a blast.
thank you for
So-
joining. I know you have a super busy schedule, so goes without saying. I really, really appreciate you being here, and hopefully we'll have you on again in the next episodes and longer time and in the activities to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure, Ginger. Appreciate
All
it.
right, guys. Well, enjoy. I'm gonna keep lurking on the stream
one
in
to
and of
come out.
itself.
There you go.
Thank you guys, chat. I was gonna say,
Oh.
guys, if you're watching this, be sure to hit that like button. And after the stream, one of the things that you could really help Wicked Builds out with is leave a comment on the broadcast in the comments, because YouTube seems to really, really like that. So give it a shot. Support the channel and watch time and all that good stuff. So thank you all so much for having me, and I will see you guys in some more Wicked content. So
Oh,
thank
of
you all.
course. Yeah, and for everybody in the chat, your favorite
We're just
streamers
going.
will have a copy
Come on.
of this broadcast, and they are going to be able to edit it and clip it, do whatever they want, and publish it on their own channel for you to see.
All right, gentlemen.
All right,
Talk to you later.
Brian. See you
Have an
later.
amazing
Have a
evening.
good one. Damn, Haise goes in there with. Oh, this guy's a big range of attack here.
Can I go up again? No.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a Leviathan here.
There I go.
Oh,
Got hit by the plague cloud.
yeah. He got murked.
Well, Wicked Bills, did you want to continue the podcast?
Yeah, we can continue the podcast, and then if we have more time at the end of it, we can get you guys to go to your own realms, respec, and maybe give this one more shot. But let's get back to the podcast and get all the information that we
Yeah.
wanted to get out there, and have our little Q&A section also. I think this was a good break from just sitting there and talking. So
This guy is almost dead.
I'm dead.
Oh, they got Larry.
Yeah, but that's also another implication.
That was
that
fun.
You gotta make sure you take care of your health. I
yeah,
only had 136 health. That's pretty low.
99 health is all you really need, but yeah. Just kidding. Where were
Imagine
we?
99 health, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I can have 99 health and 890 barrier right now because that's really balanced. Where are we?
Oh, that was easier.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
let's wait for Haise and Larry to get back here, and then
On the way.
Well, honestly, if we're-
Should I die? Because
Yeah.
I'm still fighting.
yeah, die.
Oh, you were still fighting.
Yeah, I'm still
yeah.
alive. I just killed the Leviathan.
Come back to the lounge, please. You're having a little too much
Just
fun
like,
out there.
All right, fine. I'll kill myself.
you know what? Speaking of that,
Can I sit here? Yeah.
Yeah, you can. That is our reception desk. By the way, credit where credit's due. This was a joint effort with CtrlAltDelet, who served as our interior decorator here. So a lot
yeah,
of
thank
what you
guys.
see
Yeah,
here
Good job.
was
He's
Great
great.
job.
was his work.
Right on. There you go.
Or should we change place now? Or-
Yeah, change place. Move it.
Did you want me to move Wicked Bills, or did you want me to stay right there?
Actually, well,
I'm
how
okay
about
anywhere.
you move? Yeah, you move. Let's get these two guys up there so people can look at them like entire thing, and I think the house has been shown off enough. Yeah,
There
yeah.
you
You
go.
say no.
All right.
Yep. Haise, do you want to sit in that other chair right in front of you? So
Yeah.
we have your face to the camera. Stop scaling the
Just
stuff.
spam it, dude. Spam the sit.
If
Control
you'll
Alt gave
let me
some
eventually,
epic
right?
advice with that. Just
Behave.
spam the sit button.
It might work from the
Oh.
other side too.
Yeah. it
Yeah,
can.
I'm gonna have to do it from the other side, really.
Hey, big jump right here.
Jeez, Parry Master can't even sit down properly.
Hey, it's challenging, man. I gotta give him credit, dude. It was
It's
hard.
challenging, yeah.
It's
You're not getting
challenging.
prompt.
I'm just teasing him. You guys know that.
This is the real hardcore. Trust
Yeah.
me, guys.
Oh man.
We have a little thing going on with back and forth with this thing, and I'm not gonna say it on stream. You're not gonna say it either. Okay, so where were we with this thing? We did a little bit of talking about the armor changes, weapon changes, and all that. Another big change that happened in the co-op update was the changes to parrying and backstabbing. You know, they haven't been completely reworked, but the changes are substantial enough that I think it warrants a little bit of talking about. So, what do you think about those changes in general with the backstab changes and the changes to parrying? Whoever wants to go first, go right.
Well, for
Yeah, I'll
me,
just start.
actually go ahead, brother. I'll build off you because I agree with your
Yeah.
points.
So for context, if anybody doesn't know, like the Parry changes were basically me suggesting some balance adjustments for Parry because it's been in a like absurd state for so long. It's like
Mhm.
absurdly OP, right? If you can parry everything, like stun lock every boss, it's like kind of stupid. I feel like there should be power in Parry, right? It's like a high skill move. It needs
Mhm.
to be rewarding, but that was just too strong. So I suggested that we should reduce the focus you get, cut down in half, and basically reduce the amount of stun on some of the elites and bosses. So what I had in mind was basically how the parry works in boss fights like Huntress, right? Huntress, Tusk, and Brutes, because they do not get interrupted on a parry. And twins, same goes for twins. So what they did is basically they removed the parry stun you have on Derek and the Dark First Phase and Warwick. So now they don't get staggered for too long, but it's still there. But the thing is, the change itself, I'm not basically like too fond of because the interrupt you get is too short for some of the weapons. If you're using a two-handed weapon with a big, like a longer recovery rune, then you're kind of screwed. You cannot use that rune versus some bosses. You have to actually use your attacks or something that's a bit faster, which I think is not really that great. For somebody who's using a one-handed weapon, they can be fine, right? They can just use their rune and recover in time to dodge. So parry now is a downside, so I'm not sure how to feel about that. Uh, Personally, I would say if they were to fix it, they just need to do what they did with Huntress and Tusk and the Caretaker and Tusk, so they do not get interrupted at all. They just have certain moves where the recovery is longer, right? It just takes them longer to recover, so you're still getting all the benefits of parry, and the devs aren't baiting you into actually punishing the boss. Because everybody, when they sees that new interrupt, they just kind of use their rune attack and get hit, which is what been going on for. I'm looking through all the messages. I've seen a lot of messages from players, and they're just saying like, Parry is broken at the moment. I cannot use my rune attack and punish the bosses because they can hit me back. So basically, if they were to do it in the way I'm suggesting, that gets rid of the all the complaints. At the same time, uh, it gives us back the feedback we had for Perry on like multiple attacks, right? They changed the twins fight and Derek like massively. There are massive changes. I think overall it's great. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm like super grateful that Thomas actually listened because I've been in the community for so long, and that's like something I talked about every time Thomas showed up. I was like, yeah, we need to adjust Perry because basically known as the Perry guy in the Discord. Everybody just look up to me, and he's like, yeah, I should know. He should talk about this, and this is what he suggested. So I like super grateful Thomas actually did all those changes. So but it's
Yeah.
still like not as I expected, right? It's still a lot of work that needs to be done for those boss fights, because Twins was actually such a good boss fight, and now it's just like you can just unlock them with a new intro and not have to worry. And this is with one-handed weapons, right? Not two-handers. Because any rune that is slow, you're basically screwed. Like you cannot use those runes versus the new bosses, Warwick and Dark First
And
Phase. It's
Dark.
just
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they recover too fast and you get
oh,
interrupted. So you're being punished for using a move that is actually, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be
yeah.
rewarding. Don't get me wrong, you're still getting focus, right? You're still
Hmm.
getting all the benefits, but it's kind of baiting players into making mistakes, which I don't think is that great.
Or
I
more
would
just prone to
just do it.
dodging. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you have people saying like dodging is like way better, which has always been true, right? Like if you don't have the time to invest into Parry and taking your time to actually learn the mechanic, then yeah, dodge is it's just way better mechanic. It's much safer. You have a window to have better positioning. You can punish any enemy. You can get backstabs. You can still do everything you can with just not the parry. And as to quickly go over backstabs, I feel like backstabs. This was basically just control, and I was suggesting a lot of changes. Control was basically the first one who brought it up, because we were just fighting the elites in the co-op beta we had. For anybody who doesn't know, we had like a early access kind of to the co-op build that you guys have on live, and the backstabs were basically you could do backstabs on elites. Like if somebody is
Okay.
doing a backstab, yeah, they're gonna be targeted on the guy who backstabbed them. So now it's my turn, and their back is towards me, and I can just backstab. So we can build if you can pull that up. It would be nice. The video we have.
Yeah, I can pull
So
that up
for
right
people
now.
actually, yeah, so people actually know what we were talking about. Yeah, it's basically it was kind of stupid. So they were like absolutely right on fixing that. It's such a great change, and in fact they went ahead and made it so the bruiser type enemies cannot be backstabbed either, which is like such a great change. That is not something even we had in mind. So devs, they had even better idea. They made some of the bigger enemies like they're not exactly like don't have larger models, well slightly, but these are basically the enemies with large shields and like two-handed axes. They cannot be backstabbed anymore unless you stagger them completely. Then it leaves them open for a backstab window. So I think like overall, it's like one of the best changes they have done. Don't get me wrong, it's like so good in terms of balancing and like the overall combat feel. Combat just flows, everything just clicks. You're not just rune attacking and one-shotting everything. So that's
Mhm.
something
So for everybody
we
who's
haven't had
wondering,
for.
this is what he was talking about, where you can actually just take turns backstabbing.
Yeah, they are like no way of fighting back. All you had to do was just backstab them once, whether you're doing it with a dodge or a parry, and you could just backstab loop them, right?
And you can get very strategic about it and just spam it.
Yeah, you get to
Yeah,
be very
very
strategic. Yeah,
strategic.
yeah. All you have to do is just one buddy to start the loop, and
Yeah.
then you
Well,
guys can just laugh and.
early on, backstabs do more damage than rune attacks anyway. So
Exactly, and
it,
backstabs have a crazy modifier
yeah. So
with
it
their
it
weapon
was
damage.
basically like a focusless rune attack that can be chained into infinity until you kill your target, which is definitely not the way to go.
Yeah, right now it's in a much better spot, right? Like there's so many enemies, so they kind of like self-balance it itself, like the mechanic. Because backstabs, you will have like tighter windows to get backstabs. Because enemies can interrupt you, they can attack you. A lot of enemies have range options now. Overall, it's like great. It's like in much better spot
Yeah.
compared to what we had on live and previous builds.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
but
yeah, that's
yeah,
all I have to say, really.
no, man, yeah, like build up like like to me, the personally from the beta parry to what they did now, I feel like they made it a lot cleaner. And they did like I remember Thomas saying in the Discord they made the window very generous, and I do like that. I mean I think it's maybe a little bit too easy for experienced players. Um, but I like how they give both avenues for the new players and the experienced players, where it's a bit more friendlier. Um, speaking of that dark fight, yeah, I especially when I started parrying him again, it did feel I felt the pressure a lot more, especially when he wasn't getting as he was recovering a lot faster. But yeah, but I think I really enjoy what they did with the parry. But aside from lowering the focus just a little bit, I was a big fan of the 100 focus. But again, I get it. You got to balance it out. But that's just my little spiel. And then even the backstab, like we're building off that. Like yeah, like you could in the beta, it was you could literally just strategize. Like hey, I got aggro. Okay, I'm gonna get behind them, and you can backstab and like the elites to death, and then you're like, okay, cool, let's move on. But yeah, that's just I just wanted to touch on that. That
Yeah.
was it was a it was still in a positive movement forward. I say from the beta.
Yeah.
What about Larry? Do we have something on the subject from Larry?
Well, yeah, like you guys said, it's an improvement, but I want to backstab bosses. Like straight
Oh,
up
hell
said,
yeah.
I said this from the beginning when the game first came out. I wanted to make a full assassin, like make an assassin that doesn't do a lot of damage with normal attacks, but does a lot of damage backstabbing. That's what I want. Like I don't
Yeah,
know
that should
how
be
to do
cool.
it.
I feel
I
like,
want that. And
I
I
mean, I
saw
get that you
Thomas.
want backstabs, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
cool.
and I saw Thomas testing a few days ago, or like a week ago, or something like that. Shadows. So basically, when you're in shadow and you're sneaking, you're becoming invisible.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I think
Like
that's
you
a
could become a
yeah.
full-on assassin, and I want to be able to backstab bosses as well.
Yeah.
If I could, if I can go the route of role playing and a full assassin, I would go for it. Yeah.
Larry, how would you feel about a visceral attack instead? Like, some
Yes, I would
kind of
like
like
that as
Souls
well.
game, right? Instead
Yeah.
of backstab, you get like
I was
upon posture
literally
break, you get a
about to say
unique.
that. Like when we stagger
Yeah.
an enemy, I want to be able to do a visceral attack, or at least give me a chance to backstab the boss. Like even if it's not a big animation, give me the chance to like go behind him and do like a sound effect and give me like a 100% critical on that
Hmm.
backstab, like
Yeah.
something.
Well, visceral attack is something like that feels missing, honestly. Like even after almost like 1800 hours, I still feel like there should be visceral attack in this game, right? The posture breaking an enemy like completely should be a boss, right? Should be very rewarding than what it is right now. I feel like it's just like a visceral attack. When you get them in Souls, it's just something else, right? Like the dopamine hit you get when you
It
finally
is the
visceral attack
most.
them is, yeah, it's just something else. Like they say that you can punish with a rune attack, right? We have like that's our type of visceral attacks, but it's not really true, right?
Yeah.
I think like the visceral attacks, just the unique animations they have, they cannot be compared to like rune attack, which is just supposed to be like your special move to punish.
So for me, personally, so I'll go over the changes to parrying. I think the changes they've made is good, but they're missing a key point in that one of the points of doing parrying was that you get 100 focus, and then that would give you an advantage to use a big rune. The value of a rune isn't always directly tied into the damage it does. Sometimes it's tied to the amount of stagger damage and interruption it does on bosses, especially. Now you're getting only 50, so you're not getting enough to use a big rune attack. I think the solution to that was to adjust the big rune attack's damage, not to lower the focus you gain out of parrying. And I'm not too sure about the extended window. That again, I have to reserve my opinion on it because it matters what the general populace thinks about it, like what the new players think about it. Because at the end of the day, I think if systems in the game are not accessible to most people, then that means most people are missing something from the full experience. And parrying is one of them. Sure, you don't need to parry to get through the game. You can get through the game by just dodging. And if you don't like parrying, all the power to you. But speaking from a principle point of view, I think if there is a system in the game that gives you an advantage and opens up a play style to you as a player, I think it's a disservice to the player to make it so inaccessible that a small strata of players can access it and enjoy it
Mhm.
and be happy about it.
Honestly, I would have to disagree with you there because when you say big rune, like what are you thinking? You're thinking AoE runes, right?
No, no,
But if you look
I'm
at
talking about no, I'm talking about 100 cost runes as opposed to the amount of damage they do. So to me, a 50 cost rune is well, except for Spin Strike, which is a completely broken rune for 50 damage because it actually knocks down every enemy in the game. Everything
There's a
else,
lot of runes like that.
yeah,
There is a thrust as well.
yeah. So
The one
there's the point I'm making is that the adjustment needs to be made to the runes, not to the amount of focus you're getting. But again, like there's so many ways to go about doing it, these adjustments, and it's great that we all have different opinions because they can look at it and be like, okay, maybe we can try this, maybe we can try that, and see what really comes out of it. And then for backstabbing, I'm in the same boat as Larry. Ever since the start of the game, I've always been a proponent of being able to backstab everything, including bosses, but not from I'm gonna get on its back and just do a backstab. No, my original idea was always to be able to put bosses in a staggered position, and then you'd be able to stagger them. And it was because we had a lot of backstab affixes, and this was especially glaring when we were just re-rolling for everything, and backstab would keep coming up. That means like you have a pool with an affix that is essentially just serving to take away your embers, and no real playstyle can be made around it. And I think more playstyles is always better than less. So if they can find a way to implement it properly so that it doesn't trivialize the encounter, whether it be a boss fight or an elite fight, to be able to backstab every enemy in the game under certain conditions, I think at the end of the day, it's good for variety, and it's better for just the game's health status, as I would say. More people will find something interesting for them. So, and a lot of people who come into the game are RPG players, right? Like, who here has not had a rogue class in some kind of an RPG, whether it be an MMO or a single player? It's always that class. I think that archetype is one of the mainstays, and backstabbing and being able to backstab everybody is one of them. Even if it was just like, okay, let's say you have a backstab modifier, and if you were hitting a boss from behind, that would give you extra damage, right? Not necessarily give you a whole visceral animation thing, make a big deal out of it. But again, I think everybody here has had a really good input on it, and the point is to put everybody's opinion out there. We're not really trying to.
Well, I will say, like, if you're gonna backstab a boss, right, it needs to be something that looks cool, right? You can't just make it so it's like a same animation as Elites. Like, I would say, like, the backstab animation they did for Dual Daggers was really nice, right?
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like something they would have to do. They kind of just create like a animation similar to what you do on Elites.
No, they're gonna.
That would look kind of boring.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make it
backstabbing.
so that you can scale bosses and like jump
Scale the
on their
boss,
shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Like-
gonna be up to something like really cool,
Yeah.
But I have full trust in Wicked, Wicked team to pull that off. Like their animators are phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys something?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think about the gain health on kill effect?
Gain. What
Gain
do you
health
think about it? I
What
think
you
it's.
guys would be, yeah.
I think it's the biggest source of health gain. It has always been. A lot of people have been looking at lifesteal, but they never realized that lifesteal wasn't really giving you that much of lifesteal. It was kind of overrated.
You think it's a good effect? Gain life on kill?
I've never really thought about it.
Decent.
Do you think it's too much, or what is it?
No, like I see that effect as a useless effect. It's incredibly good versus normal enemies, but
Okay.
every time you go to a boss, it's useless.
Yeah.
It's completely useless. Like I'm trying to make builds around killing bosses, okay?
Okay.
And if I can do that, I'm gonna avoid backstab because I cannot backstab a boss. I'm gonna avoid gain health on kills or any other effects that they don't provide me an advantage towards the boss, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this with a lot of other things that they're making. They're making like the structure, the combat, they're making more towards the normal enemies, and they're like ignoring the bosses. And I would like them to focus more on giving us tools to fight bosses than just normal enemies.
So we have health gain on dodge. I think maybe they could do health gain on parry also. That would give you some kind of
Yeah, there
go.
is health gain on
There we
Parry.
go.
There is health gain on Parry.
Yeah.
There's always
Is
been, even in previous builds. So Larry, what you just said, I agree with you, right? But think about it like this: like, what's the something you're gonna be doing most of your playthroughs, right? Just fighting normal enemies. So I feel like just having health gain on kill is like massive. If you're doing campaign, right? The thing you're gonna do the most is killing enemies. You're just exploring and killing enemies. So that's something that's gonna be in effect compared to like increased damage versus bosses, which is gonna help you, right? But only when you're fighting bosses. Like
Yeah,
the
but when
the
you're
time you
fighting,
have.
sorry,
Mhm.
say you
Go
can
ahead.
talk.
Go ahead.
When you're fighting normal enemies, you have so many other options. You can use your own attack, your own healing aura. You can use food. You can use a lot of things. On boss, you're limited. You're limited by hunger. You're limited by a lot of things that you cannot get health back.
Yeah.
Does that
Well,
make sense? What I'm trying to
Yeah.
say?
if you look
Yeah.
at
And
Totally.
it's
the
Totally. Yeah.
if you look at the what do you call it, the barrier game right now, you have different mechanics of gaining barrier. If you eat, for example, there's an affix that gives you barrier on eating food.
On consuming food. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one that gives you on dodge, I think. So
Yeah, but
so
then again, like,
barrier is one effect that I think it's very useful in any situation.
yeah,
So that's a,
yeah, Barry is good.
that's an
That's
amazing
so.
that's a thumbs up for me
yeah.
because they introduced
Um,
that.
do you guys want to move on to the next section, or do you have something you want to add quickly before we move on?
Yeah, I was just
Uh,
gonna say like the health on kill, right? It just feels bad. It doesn't feel good. But if you look at actual numbers, I can't look at player data, right? But if somebody who uses the health you gain on kill, like the value they would get out of it would be absurd,
Yeah.
like absurd numbers, right? It's like, but I have no way of proving this, right? I don't
So
have player data
just a
because something like people consider to be not that strong, like it would surprise you, like how valuable it is, right?
yeah. I think what
Yeah.
also what we're doing, what we should be doing, is that a lot of these things they need to be evaluated based on where you are as a player in the game. Early on, when you're studying, something like gain health on kill is really really helpful. But later on, and I've noticed this, like when I make builds now that I just want to play for myself, I don't even use it. I use something else. But I remember early on when I was just starting out and getting acquainted with the game, gain health and gain focus on kill was really really helpful. So that's something just to consider when we're talking about the status of these affixes available. Anyways,
And can we keep in mind also, and bad in like it's pretty calm. I have a second. This is like a topic I kind of like. When it comes to these enchantments, we got to keep in mind that we are getting a class system introduced, and a lot of these roles right now will be much better as class-oriented perks. You wanted to backstab bosses. Well, hey, sure, go level up your assassin class, your rogue class. Maybe that archetype has this unique perks. And you want health on kills, and for other builds, it's like, great, cool. Go with something like I don't know, necromancer or reaper. Every time you kill something, you siphon their souls and get some of your resources back. Like a lot of these affixes that right now aren't that interesting to get. I think would be really cool passives as classes exclusives.
yep, that's
Yeah,
totally
I
a
totally
valid
agree with
point.
control. Yeah.
We're
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does sound like so much better.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see how the ground is going to shake up with the classes, but honestly, we cannot spectate on that at this point. So,
That's what I'm trying to say. We are speaking from the perspective of the current patch.
yeah,
So
so
we have no idea. Like I heard the developers keep saying this. Oh, but when we introduce classes, we're gonna do that. They're gonna be better. Like okay, let's see that. But until then, I'm giving you my opinion about what I'm seeing right now. So that's
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Well,
that's the
what do you guys think about what Thomas shared about classes, like the overview, right? I mean, it's rough idea. It's not like that's exactly what we're gonna get, but maybe we could build if you could put that off, we could,
let's finish the what we had in mind because there's a lot of other stuff. Because again, like classes, we'll talk about it. It's just that we don't really have any concrete information on it, and it's not kind of relevant to the update. And a lot of people are here to hear about the update, and what we will get back to that. Heise, I'll remember that. So let's just say right now, from what you've seen from the patch so far, how do you view the current state of the game? You hopeful, optimistic? Are there things that would make you call yourself disappointed? How do you just generally view the game state right now, basically?
I'm very hopeful. If there's anything I would want to change, I was talking to Wicked Builds about it. If there's anything I want to change, we have loads of stats in the game. There's numbers all everywhere. My thing is when we go into looking into our attribute stats, I wish there would be some sort of category where we can see how much healing we're getting how much crit damage, crit percentage, stuff like that, like the little thing like that that matter to us. So that way we have an idea. Because for our feedback to know instead of like, putting all the numbers ourselves and whatnot, because not everybody can do that, right? I mean, even myself, I'm not the best at that. So it would be helpful to see some stats like that so we can be like, okay, um, I know where I'm weak at. I'm gonna, now respec a little bit here, and let's see how the numbers look. Because I know there was a game I used to play, the Division. The Division had something like that where you put your build together and then have certain percentages of the damage you're putting out, that your defense, and then your crit damage, stuff like that. And so I think that would be really cool because we do builds a lot, and I don't think that's going to change in the
Um,
class system. But anyways, but yeah, that's something I think that would be cool.
when the Breach first released the patch, I did a video asking the developers like wish list or something like that, and there was a lot of them. But one specific, I was asking for a detailed character menu with everything, all the information, like how much.
Yeah,
Because right now the character menu, the one we have right now, it's missing a lot. We don't know how much attack speed we're getting. We don't know how much lifesteal we're getting. We don't know how much barrier we're
exactly.
gaining. Like, and there's so many of them. And Thomas did confirm, yes, it's coming. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for it.
Mm.
Yeah. So they did
Yeah.
confirm that they're gonna work on one of that, but like I'm still not seeing it. So I'm hoping in the future.
Yeah, I just think like the future for Wicked is bright, right? Like everything they have like shown us with this update, it's everything players wanted, right? For the longest time. It's just so good in every single way. So I encourage you guys to just play Wicked if you haven't, This is the best
Mm.
time to hop on into Wicked. Like this build is incredible.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Heise. I think, generally speaking, the changes in this build have moved the game in a positive direction, and they've also introduced a new dimension to it. I think the builds are going to have quite a bit of paradigm shift, so to say, happening to them coming soon. But speaking of which, do you guys think the changes in co-op so far, to the systems are sufficient enough to distinguish the mode as its own entity? Like, do you think we will probably need co-op builds versus solo builds? Are the changes monumental enough for that, or you don't think so?
I personally do. I think there's gonna, from like, especially when playing with you guys, the other day, I I noticed that my builds. I mean, most of mine. I'll speak to myself. Were made for more solo, single enemy type combat, not more AOE. I had to pick and choose. Like Larry, I had to get behind you, so we can
Yeah.
take apart the Echo Knight, and it was a challenge. It was a challenge, and then when we finally did it with Warland, um, Wicked Bills and and Warland. It's a lot of coordination, and I feel at a certain point we're gonna get to that track where it's like, okay, I have my solo bill, and then we're gonna call our buddies and be like, hey, I want to hop on, and then we're gonna have to switch some things around, put different gear on with different affixes to kind of complement, and then it's gonna get to the point where we're gonna be talking and be like, hey, what class you running? What are you doing? Hey, I think we need a healer. I think we're gonna need somebody for that. All right, let's call up so and get them in here, and then, oh, we're missing a tank. We need someone to take most of the damage because we're both glass cannons out here. We need help.
So
And
how
I think
much?
I
Yeah,
no,
sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
How much of that do you think is caused by lack of aggro management? Because we cannot aggro. And if anybody goes back to the
Mhm.
fight that we're talking about, where I die there, it's where Echo Knight does his teleport move.
Triple move.
So I'm looking at him and I'm thinking he has you targeted. I don't need to dodge it, and that's not a move that you can really dodge on reaction. At least not to me. That's not available in my fine motor skill set. So how much of that do you think is is the culprit here, that you cannot actually know whether or not the enemy is going to target you? Because if you were to able to manage the aggro right now, then all the other builds will work. You can all bring in your glass cannon. You only have one person to keep aggro, right? So how much do you think that has an effect on what you're describing?
Yeah, dude, I support that 100% because like even like I remember when it was just us two, it was a lot easier to decipher um, who the enemy was gonna be hitting at, in my opinion. And even though there was some slight moments where we were like, "Oh crap, he came out of nowhere and hit me," and then all of a sudden we just got one tapped, and then
Yeah.
we're like, "Hey, buddy, I died." But um, I think, and then as Larry joined, and then Control joined, the enemies started flooding in, and it was really hard. There was a lot of action on screen, there was a lot of action on screen, and it's really hard to keep in track of what enemy was fighting who. And then all of a sudden, like you can trigger, like let's say we have an enemy fighting Larry right now, and he's facing Larry, and I was just fighting an enemy, and I'm kind of focused on the other side, and then all of a sudden, the enemy that Larry's fighting, I trigger his what's it called, his backstab maneuver, because he thinking I'm gonna backstab him, and then all of a sudden I just get sideswiped, and then I'm dead. You get what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things. There's just so much going on. You don't know. Yeah, you don't really have an idea yet of what or where that aggro is going to go. So I do support what you're saying, Wicked Bills, about that. It is that maybe will probably change, because I think obviously this is probably going to be like the biggest sample size, and I'm sure they're looking over some ideas of how they want to change it and whatnot. But yeah, I think that was the biggest thing with this co-op is that aggro part, and then obviously the boss fights got completely different, and then it's gonna just it unleash a waterfall of like the separation of, okay, like this works for my solo build, like I can literally take on anybody with my solo build, but then we get to co-op. There's different people who use different elements and whatnot, and so the elements are going to constantly change, and some don't have synergy. So like if one person, like for me, I was using bleed, and I need bleed needs lifesteal. We need that lifesteal to keep our momentum. And if someone else who's using a different element that doesn't correlate with the bonuses like bleed and plague, it was a little bit challenging, because if you'd hit someone and then you put the fire on them, it would change the momentum. And obviously, I needed the keep the the bleed for the lifesteal. But yeah, I'll let other people tag in on that. I believe I said a good amount.
Okay.
Yeah, all I'll say is this: like you know how you said you cannot like work with the different elemental effects if you're bleed, but
Hmm.
doesn't infection actually give lifesteal? Doesn't matter if you're bleed or not.
Oh yeah. I was just talking about
Infection
it.
applies. Yeah, infection still gives you life steals, right? In terms of like co-op and solo only builds, I think you absolutely have to create co-op only builds, right? You have to itemize around what whoever you're gonna play with, right? If you're not making use of stuff like advanced elemental synergies like overload and searing, all that stuff, like you're missing out, dude, on a lot of fun and damage. Because
Mhm,
just to
mhm.
combine overload, you get when you use lightning on a burn target, the damage and the AoE you do is ridiculous. Like the
Hmm.
moment you see it, the advanced status effects, right? How they actually work and synergize, how you can synergize with your friends, you can never go back. Because you wouldn't be able to, just do your solo build. You wouldn't enjoy that. That's basically how I see it. I think you absolutely have to create like co-op only builds, right? You have to be smart and actually itemize around your friend, like build around your friend and
Mhm.
whatever he's gonna use. So you both just have to make a plan early on. Because we literally just did that. Like I did a playthrough with one of my friends, and he went ahead and he decided to go lightning bow. He had an electric quiver, a shock quiver we had, and I decided to go the fire on the fire gem on my curved sword, and we were basically proccing overload every chance we get. We were proccing overload, which does so much AoE damage. It's absurd. Like I think you have to do all that. And just to quickly add on the aggro thing you guys were talking about, I'm not sure if I understand you correctly. Are you like complaining about it, or you think it's a good change, or what's going on?
It's not a complaint, it's just the state of the game. Right now, you cannot manage aggro, and if you've played any kind of MMO or like large scale MMO, which I don't,
Yeah,
maybe this doesn't apply to that. It's a smaller, the scale is not comparable, but
yeah. I think it doesn't apply
yeah.
honestly.
So
Yeah, because this is what I'll say. You don't think it's the part of the fact that you're new to co-op experience that you're struggling to actually dodge all these attacks, right? When you say
okay,
you got hit by the Echo Knight, right? You don't know he's gonna go for you, right? That's a part of it. The next time you fight Echo Knight, you will know the moment he teleports, he's gonna slam the weapon on you, not your ally.
Yeah. So
So you just have to be ready.
yeah,
That's how I see it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a healthy mechanic at all. For a player not to know whether or not they're being targeted or if they're doing something that they're going to get targeted. Random targeting, probably, again, like, but the solution to that is simple because you know how to dodge it. So you'll just dodge it saying that, okay, maybe it's coming for me, maybe it's not coming for me. But then if you are actually trying to make some kind of a co-op experience where you have distinct classes, where you brought somebody in who is your main damage dealer, and this is down the line, obviously, like this is too complicated for the current state of the game, but like what it is right now, we don't have aggro management, or like you cannot tell, but I'll let Larry take on because he was going to say something.
So here's the thing. I play with my wife a lot.
Okay.
In the beta and now, enemies will target the closest person to them. That's the aggro. So the one that's closer to the enemy is going to attack that one. So every time my wife was back away with an archer build and I was a tank, the enemy was always focusing on me. I was tanking, was amazing job. As soon as I entered with you guys, 4 people, it was complete chaos. Like, because we were all around the enemy.
That was crazy.
The enemy didn't know who to focus because everyone was near it, and I was losing the aggro. So I think they should introduce an aggro rune or something like that. I think that would be helpful, like a utility or something like that. A utility rune to just aggro the enemy.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, that's such a good idea, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
I think like somebody who's just targeting the boss, right? He just aggroes the boss, and the rest of you can just wail on him. But at the same time, it would be like kind of absurd, right? They would have to balance it.
Not really, because if you like, usually what happens is bosses in an encounter, there's usually stage where they can go after anybody, and at that stage, it's the responsibility of the tank to use tools available to them to get the boss back onto them, right? So that doesn't mean that 100% of the time the boss is going to be on you and everybody else can just like mindlessly click away. But to give your tank some sort of a tool to be able to insert itself in a position where the boss has switched aggro, I think that would be useful.
Yeah, but you can't have both, right? What you want is basically, you can't have both. You can only have one of what you asked. Like, if you want the aggro, right, it needs to be on one. Like, there needs to be like certain attacks that actually go for your allies. Is that what you're saying, right?
Yeah, but those attacks are different. Like, okay, so in World of Warcraft, for example, right, bosses have certain attacks that will target the rest of the group no matter what the tank does. And those are secondary attacks, right? The main attacks will always be focused on the person that's holding the aggro. Something similar, but again, this is a matter of scale, so I'm not even going to try and say like that's the same thing. Like the scale of the fights in something like World of Warcraft is the same thing as you see here with only 4-player co-op. But again, I think another game that would be close to this that have had systems like this is Vindictus, if you've ever played that, because the raids in Vindictus are a lot smaller. They're between 4 to 12 people. And there, I believe the warrior class does have some tools of holding and maintaining aggro. But it's a new tool set available to you as if you want to play tank, right?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. That was good.
What would you guys think? So I think I played a little bit of Monster Hunter. I don't know if you guys have, but I think there's a little mechanic in the newest one where it will announce which player on the screen who has the aggro. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't know, maybe that could be something cool to if there was a rune and then it confirms it on the screen so that everybody knows.
So
I don't know. I'm kind of speaking for more like.
Here's the thing. H3Z is in comments and he mentioned something that's interesting. There is a rune in the game called Taunt Strike, right? It taunts the target for only one attack though. So we do have something similar. We just need something in maybe a utility rune that is, or maybe it's something that could be stamina based instead of focus based. So So it's something similar to that, something similar to Taunt Strike, as H3Z has mentioned. But yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I just think it's just a matter of choice, right? At the end of the day, devs gonna decide whether they want the boss fights to have like such advanced AI that you can tell when they're going for,
Yeah.
one player or the other. So you just always have to be ready, right?
Yeah.
It's just a balance
Yeah.
thing too, right? Because in Souls, like you have bosses like Millennia, Radon. They just switch aggros like crazy. They have insane mobility. The Millennia, she will use her water flow on one player, then she goes for another, then she goes for. So every single player basically has to dodge. It's not like just one guy can carry you in that fight. It's like absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a matter of what you're expecting, right? If it is that you're going to be like, okay, this game works like this. In this game, there's no taunting, there's no keeping aggro. Just learn the boss fight and be prepared to dodge everything, and then that's fine. That's the expectation, and that's part of learning what the co-op experience is like for us. Because we were just getting to know the systems also and how they work, and like especially in more than 2 player setup, like into the Wicked mention, like as soon as we went into the 3 and 4 person setup, it was a totally different world, right? That was
totally.
that was when it became glaringly obvious that we need to have some kind of co-op build. And then if you are making builds and putting videos out there, you need to make it obvious to the viewer that, hey, this build is for co-op, this build is for solo, and this is for this position in co-op. This is and I think one distinction that's coming to my mind, and it's been on my mind for the past few days, is that you're probably going to have, because having more than 2 people melee is just a mess. So what I'm thinking is you probably need a tank that basically doesn't care about whatever kind of damage is thrown at him, and then you'll have sort of a bruiser who can take a little bit of damage while going at the boss, and then you'll have 2 range dealers that can be a mage, range, whatever, and then some kind of a healing going on. So there is definitely that distinction available right now within the systems. It's just I would like to see it built a little bit more in detail. Like I wanted
I totally agree with you.
better implemented.
Yeah, then again, you're gonna get like 4 players who are just psychos, right? They're gonna pick like 4 wands. All of them can parry. Just the one guy parries.
Yeah.
The other guy backs off.
yeah, you can. That's always going to happen, right? And you're always going to have those things. But generally speaking, for the average person that has maybe 30 hours in the game and has friends that have 10, 15 hours in the game, they want to get together and put something together that's viable. They can take it to the Crucible at level 15 and just enjoy the experience. I think that's Crucible is really one of the, maybe some people overlook it, but I think Crucible is probably one of the most important parts of the game and to the future of the game. Yeah. And they can build it. They can build it into an entirely like I was mentioning this to Thomas when he was talking on Discord. I'm like, there are games that are basically selling the Crucible alone for $25, right? You could expand your Crucible to the point where it can be a standalone game of its own, and I think they already know this.
That's been their goal for a while. Like that's what Thomas says, basically, like the farming activities, right? He wants to turn it into a farming game. Like that's how good it needs to be. Like probably not as good, right? But like if it's close enough, everybody would play. I think like the Crucible fact that it plays out like roguelike is already insane, right? I'm not like too much into roguelike stuff, so I don't even take echoes when I play Crucible. But don't get me wrong, it's like very exciting.
Yeah,
for anybody who enjoys that kind of gameplay, it's amazing.
Yeah, we got Larry back. I think he wanted to get in.
Wanted to say something. So do you have any footage of when we are fighting, all of us, or the clutter, all the mess on the screen? There's so many effects.
Yeah, I have it. It's just hard for me to go back right now because it's such a long video. It's like 8 hours.
Let me just explain. So there were so many things happening on the screen, and the camera went all over the place. The camera needs fixing on that. Like I lost the camera. My character was like in one of the corner of the screen.
Oh, we're in the Marion Woods.
When we're fighting there, like I couldn't understand anything was happening, and I again a tank, if I'm hit from behind, I die because I don't. What I wanted to say, like same like the character menu, we needed the detail character menu, and we also need a combat log or just a log in general, so we can see. So after the fight or the fact, we can open it and we see, this thing did this amount of damage to me, or I did this amount of damage there. So we can make more better builds, or at least we have
In a
better
sense.
knowledge just by looking at that log.
Yeah,
Mm,
definitely.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be a nice
That
thing
would be
to have,
cool.
right?
That would be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because again, like this game is starting to get to that point where it's all about numbers. It's all about numbers. It's all about the digits. How certain percentages correlate
That
with other percentages.
Yeah.
that
Go
is
ahead.
because they have not giving us more story content, and we are like nitpicking everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking about like right now, like what it is for what
Yeah.
at face value. But anyways, yeah.
So let's get moving to the next section, and this is an interesting one. So, how do you envision the future of No Rest for the Wicked? I think there was an allusion in the chat. Somebody said, I wanted this to turn into an MMO. So think in those terms. Like, how do you want this game? What do you want to see
Can
a year after the 1.0 release? But yeah,
can
go
I go
ahead.
first here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me just straight up say, right now the end game is not good. It's quite boring. I'll get back to the end game. Let's talk about a little bit the Crucible. I wanted to see in the Crucible different types of dungeons, not just like the same type of Crucible, because there are multiple statues there, no? So
Yeah.
we're gonna. Thomas did confirm we're gonna have multiple types of Crucible. But I don't want the next Crucible to be the same style, or like multiple rooms and then you get to an end boss. I want something different. I want, like, let's say the first one is the Echo Knight, no? The second one could be like a tower defense, or like let's say you're in the Sacrament somewhere and a horde of like disinfected things are coming, and you have to maybe not win the game, but like it's counting you how much you can survive, something like that. It's this type of modes.
Yeah.
Like keep changing them, keep giving different types of games. And here's the thing that I want to see the most. I want to see PvP arena. I want to see PvP, and not just PvP. I want to see League of Legends PvP. I know I'm asking for more. I know I'm asking for a lot, but just think about it. No Rest for the Wicked has the camera like in League of Legends or
that's a good
Dota.
point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
and we already have the maps. Just give us 4 versus 4 in one of these little maps. Can you imagine, like, this game? Just if you implement a mode like that, like the toxicity of other players and how long this game would last? Because like local League of Legends, look how even now it's like I think it's in the top 3, top 5 games most played of all time.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah,
Larry, am I hearing you right? Are you suggesting that toxicity sells? Is this what we were going for?
Yes.
Toxicity sells. You heard it here first.
think-
Larry King, when Larry was coining it. Toxicity sells. So if you guys
Oh man.
are going to be on the receiving end of some toxicity coming up, know that it's for the good of the game.
One final thing. The outbreaks, it's kind of a side thing. It's not really an end game. Maybe if they take these outbreaks and really give you, because right now there's no significance to them. Like you can just ignore them. Nothing is gonna happen. But let's say like if you ignore the outbreaks, the enemies start multiplying. They start attacking Sacrament and they destroy all of the buildings you invested of that material. And that incentivizes you to like, okay, I need to go clear that outbreak, because if not, this guy's gonna come and they're gonna destroy the vendors again, and then I have to upgrade them or repair them again.
Do you remember how
that
much?
that would be a mode, like, or do something that makes player like don't ignore them, but like actively try to clear the outbreaks.
Yeah.
If that's their end game. If not, I don't know.
But don't you think it kind of gets repetitive after a while? Like, I have a friend who basically just stopped playing because he was like, everything is just best. Like, he took a break. He was like off for like a
that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's their end game, like I'm saying, try to make it more engaging. If not, try to think of a different end game, because right now the outbreaks are too repetitive and they're so slow. Like the amount of materials we get in order to upgrade to the maximum everything, it's incredibly slow. And
Yeah,
then we
the
have
overlay
to.
itself, by the way, don't you guys like? There's like so many complaints about the overlay they have, right? For the outbreaks, the
Yeah, yeah.
pestilence. Like my friend despises it. Like he every opportunity he has, he will like talk about this. He will like, I love this game. I love this game, and I want to play with you. But like the outbreaks, I can't understand. He can't stand the end game basically. Like,
Yeah.
the outbreaks and everything because of the overlay. It's just so harsh on him.
But here's what it is. Like
1 out of 10 people in my comments complain about the purple effect.
Yeah.
Remove the
Yeah,
purple effect.
It's
it's
crazy.
awful. Yeah, it's not for everybody. That's all.
No,
I'll
but
say.
this is what I don't understand. Like this game has such a unique and beautiful art style. You cannot find this anywhere else. From the color palette to the animations, everything is so meticulously handmade. It's so beautiful. Like they've made this visual masterpiece here, and then somebody somewhere decided it was okay to come and take a freaking purple brush and just go over everything. I'd be like, here you go. Now enjoy it. This is the end game activity. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I
Doesn't make sense, yeah,
I
you're
hope
totally
they
right.
get rid of it, or at least give you the option. Like I get it, like you want to create a mood for it, like something bad has happened, but maybe how you have in and by the way, if you guys are watching that little screen, that's the area Larry was talking about. In Marin Woods, when you just started, you have those growths that you need to get rid of. Maybe instead of putting an overlay like that, have these growths start sticking out in the plagued
There we go.
area, or like change the monsters in the plagued area so that they're carrying some kind of a growth on them. And there's a lot of things they can do in the future, but maybe, just maybe, here's what I think. Maybe this is just a placeholder, right?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just what they're doing for now. Maybe they have something better in mind. We don't know, but I would have liked the option of being able to remove it for now.
I have full faith. Anything they can think of, it will be better than whatever they have right now, right?
Yeah.
The overlay thing, yeah. Like think of something, guys. Come on.
Yeah. So
Like,
did we
it's just
get
not great, right?
did we get your opinion on where you won the game in the year, or like
No, I was
future
just-
vision?
I talked about the Crucible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like the game is great, right? There's no reason for Wicked to not be a popular game, right? Like, just think of anything you would want in a game, and this game has it pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the way it does it, it's in a unique way. Like, there's nothing like Wicked out there, right? At the time when I was like 1K hours, I was bored of the game. I was like, okay, tell me one game that is like Wicked. I'm serious. They were like V Rising. I looked at V Rising gameplay and it's just not even close.
No.
Somebody said PoE 2, you might like it.
No.
I looked at PoE 2 combat model, and basically somebody said it's more tactile. You have to dodge. Dodge what? Have you looked at the animations and attacks enemies do? It's stupid, dude. Like, why would I ever want to? There's no thrill in there, right?
Yeah.
You just cannot create the combat model around the lame ass animations and just have iframes, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
V
Like, Wicked was
Rising, not
designed with,
yeah, V Rising. I was
V-Rising, I
gonna
think, is
say,
great.
yeah, it's not so as bad as something like PoE was. Okay, PoE is not a bad game. I don't want people attacking me right now. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm just from like a combat perspective, it's totally different system, right? And if you are a fan of the combat in No Rest for the Wicked, I think V Rising is probably the only thing that comes a little close to that, requiring a little bit of attention and not just falling completely on your stats. But yeah, it's there's nothing like it, like you said. It's just
there's nothing like Wicked. Like, trust me, like that's like the biggest selling point. My friends, why should we buy this game? Because I play this a lot, and there's nothing like Wicked, basically. You
yeah, I
guys just need
remember
to buy this
like
game.
my friend who's like basically as jaded of a gamer as you could possibly think of, right? Like anytime I show him something new, he's like, oh, this is like this and this is like that. And then when we're talking about Wicked, he's like, why should I get this? And I'm like, get it, because there's nothing else like it. And if you've ever trusted me one time, just do this. So he buys it and he's like, yeah, you're right. There's just nothing else like it. And I think that's like the biggest compliment you can give to the creators and developers behind it. So
have you guys ever played Drova Forsaken skin?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
It's quite similar to No Rest for the Wicked, except the graphics, it's pixel art.
Yeah. Into the Wicked, did you want to add to this section?
Yeah. Do we have time for that?
Yeah, we have time. Like,
Okay.
we have time until you guys want to go, basically. I think people are enjoying the conversation. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the company. I'll be here until
the
you
juicy
guys...
parts, man.
Yeah, we're getting to the juicy
We're
parts.
getting to the juicy parts.
Just like
But,
one more thing to
go ahead,
over Crucible, right? I was gonna say, like, the Crucible itself, it has like one of the best boss fights in the game, right? And it's kind of sad, like most players don't get to experience it. like recently we had somebody in the Wicked main. He was streaming and stuff and asking for my help, and basically all he was saying was the game is just too easy, right? He was breezing through the campaign, and eventually he makes it to Crucible, and then he's struggling in the Crucible because he doesn't have a optimized build, and like his stats are all over the place, because the entry point to like basically play Crucible is kind of high, compared to campaign.
Yeah.
So he ends eventually he like messages me, okay, I gave up, Crucible is not for me, this game is too hard, I'm proud of anybody who finished Crucible. I was like, I think you're just you're being very overreactive, right? You just need to create a build, and Crucible will be easy, right? There are
Oh.
echoes and stuff that can
And
help
learn.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're already
yeah.
catching some heat in the comments. Some people calling us clowns. Just to be clear again, nobody hated on V Rising. Nobody hated on PoE2. The point
Yeah, we said
was,
V-Rising is great.
yeah,
Just-
we said it clearly. Those are all great games. What we are trying to, with the point we're trying to get across is that the combat in these games are completely different. And as far as a top-down isometric view RPG goes, No Rest for the Wicked is the only one that's doing it correctly from a combat perspective. I'm not talking
For sure.
about
Yeah.
game systems or game as a whole. So yeah, if you still think we're clowns, that's fine. That's great. I'm glad we're making you laugh. Into the Wicked. What's your take on this?
Okay, well, building up both you guys, like this is like 1.0. I obviously, they making more content, DLC stuff like that. I like how they're not going to do the microtransaction thing. I'm a bit advocate of, to me, that's the old school way of doing things. You do the DLC, you pay for something and you get the content, and it's a great formula. It's healthy in my opinion. It's respectful to other people's pocket. And I like how they respect other people like that. With the Crucible, yeah, I do think it'd be really cool if they add, multiple different options of or types of Crucibles. It's not just floor by floor by floor, and then hey, hooray, boss, a different boss. I think it would be cool, like I don't want to say it's like modes, but like in a Crucible, it's like an option. You have the one Crucible when you're doing the floor, you have one Crucible where you are defending, like Larry said, like a tower or defending things with people. Because those who like the more
Zombies,
of the yeah,
infected
yeah,
creatures.
exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool to like, and like because there are people who stray away from the PvP side, right? People who love just PvE. Because I remember when I played Destiny, you literally had a split community sometimes where people would just go on just to play PvP, and then you would have the people that just go on to play PvE. Um, and that's why I think if when PvP is introduced, we're gonna have that a little bit because I mean I can see PvP being super fun and super sweaty in this
Yeah.
game. I could see it like that because there's so many cool things you could do with teamwork and whatnot. But then there's also there can be people who are be like, hey, I'm a little bit slower paced. I love the PvE side. I love the lore, the story. I want to grind that way. And it'd be cool if they don't force people to get loot and whatnot, and loot for going and jumping in and things they don't want to do. So I'm thinking for Crucible, they have that tower thing for like more of the PVE. They have things where there's an option where almost like a survival mode for another Crucible, where you go in there, you survive for how many rounds, and for how many rounds you survive, it's the based off the loot you get in the end. Stuff like that, like very goal oriented, very like you get rewards for the hard work that you did. I think that would be cool. Aside from the content that they're doing, not just aside from the microtransaction. But that's just my little spiel.
Yeah, I think Control has his mic unmuted. Maybe he wants to join in on the conversation.
Yeah, I do have a year after release. I mean, that's just a big topic, right? I think, first of all, I really want the island to be fully completed because 1.0 is no longer aiming at completing the island, which is sad. But I mean, I really hope that a year later we'll be seeing the full island. I think the traversal of the island right now, I get it. I get it. No more story content, but the traversal of the world isn't feeling all that great to me right now. When it comes to lowlands and the shallows, great. But Marin Woods and Nameless Pass, they feel like islands. When you go there, you can only go there, and you'll come back to the same way you came in, except if you use a whisper, obviously. But the world is super well connected but like within their own zones right now. And I really want to see more of that interconnectivity in the world that they keep talking about. Right now, we just don't really have that, and that's something that I really want. And they keep saying they want Wicked to be this forever game. So to me, I mean, I want a good farming system. I want more mini games. I think the Gathering one is decent right now. It's not the best, but people are happy with it. So you know what, refine it maybe a bit, but that's cool. I'd like a cooking mini game. I think if you could do like proper full-on meals, like in your home with cooking stations, that would be so much fun. Making foods with your friends. If you've ever played like Polya and stuff like that, you had your different crafting stations to like mix and cut and stuff and do your meals and just like more better meals with better buffs, alchemy table, like mini games for making the potions. I think if you can just find those little things that, you know, some players will say, man, that's such a waste of time. But then you're playing co-op and you have that one guy who just really likes doing all that stuff at home. You can just prepare all the food and the potions for the party, and then when you set out, you have all your stuff. And I want them to just focus on like making every part of the game more interactive and more fun. Uh, Obviously that means PvP. I think PvP will be a big thing for a lot of people. The arena, I love the idea of Larry of doing like, oh, maybe a little MOBA thing. There's nothing stopping them from doing it, right? Like they have the great combat system already. They have the camera. All they need to do is like a little special map. When you go in the Coliseum, well, there's that one section, and there you go, teleports you in, and then just 4v4, 5v5, whatever you want to have it. Even just 2v2 as a starter would be great. So yeah, I mean, I think Wicked's future is bright, and I hope they can just accomplish everything they want. When it comes to endgame, I'd love it raid on Sacrament, as it's been said. Like, I don't like currently that when we finish the campaign right now, there's battlements, settlements everywhere in the city. But we weren't there for it. We killed the brood at the entrance of the gate. We saw the impact of the other ones flying off, and maybe the future of the campaign will explore that. But we didn't protect the city. So we come back, we see the city in ruin. We're like, dang, what happened here?
Yeah.
Why couldn't I help? And are they gonna come back? I mean, the city's broken open. Are these things gonna fly back in, or is that all of them? Like, why is the city in such a bad state? I'd really love to see some town defenses and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about the future of Wicked. That's about it.
So my my take on this is that Wicked is in a very pivotal point of development right now. If I could compare it to something, I could compare it to when League of Legends just started, and or even if you go back when World of Warcraft started as just a strategy game, when they were just building on the lore and the game and the world. So they took that and then they built on it, right? When World of Warcraft, the MMO, when it came out, it wasn't just because that it was monumentally ahead of its time from game system perspective. Like, I remember it had a ton of issues, and perhaps maybe Guild Wars was objectively a better game. But what kept people there was the investments that they had into the world itself, into the characters, into the stories. And I think we often forget how much emotional investments will bring people back in and help people overlook certain shortcomings that you might have during game development or story development. So they have, I think, a really, really good opportunity here to build something monumental, turn it into an MMO, turn it into anything. This is a world that has a lot of potential, you know, to cut the long story short. And as far as like particular changes go for the future, and I think you guys have all sort of alluded to this, but my general idea is that the game should be able to challenge you as a player no matter how good you've gotten. So if we could, for example, just for the Crucible, let's say you completed the Crucible the first time, and the second time you start the Crucible, now enemies are even harder to deal with. But the game also has to give you some tools to deal with it, and the way you would do that is that at the end of your first completion, you will receive maybe certain items or affixes that are not available anywhere else. You cannot roll for it. You cannot go to Eleanor. You need to complete this challenge in order to gain this level of power. So then when you go into the Crucible a second time, now things are still fresh and challenging from a combat perspective. And they could do the same thing with plague outbreaks, right? You will clear it the first time. The second time, it's going to be even more powerful, but it will also give you tools in the shape of pestilence rewards to deal with it. And you would also need some kind of failsafe. Maybe somebody does it and they can't deal with it. So let's say if you've done that and you need to reset it back to original difficulty, you need to go grab yourself some I-cores, drop it in the fire, and that will reset it. So that's basically in my take on the subject. So if we are all good on this, we can move to the next
Can,
one. We're all good?
can I
Yeah,
ask
I'm
you?
good.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I ask you all one simple question? Like, let's say the main story is gonna be completed at one point. No, what do you think the game currently is missing the most? This game, like Norris Frederick, what do you think is the sole thing that the game is missing?
I don't know.
Everyone will have a different opinions, but like, I'm curious.
Yeah, that's part of like what I was going to ask. I was going to ask like, what do you think is missing, and what do you think needs
Oh,
to
sorry.
happen?
Okay.
I was going to say, what do you think needs to happen in order for your vision for the game to come true? So you can go ahead and let us know. But I don't think there's anything
I'll say at
missing.
the end.
Yeah.
I'm asking you guys the same question.
Okay. What's missing right now? It's hard to. I honestly I didn't think about it in that way. But obviously, I think there's a lot of things that need the fine tuning. But maybe just we know, but there's more of the story, so I couldn't even say the story is missing. But I think right now what's missing, to be honest, is class identity. Right? We cannot build classes with the tools that we have available, like with the armor sets and the attributes. I think that class identity is a little diluted, especially with the changes. So that would be my answer to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Wicked Bills. Basically, yeah, class system is what we really need, like at the moment. Besides that, like there's nothing really, I think. You know, we definitely want more content, you know, which we're gonna get eventually. But that's about it. Maybe some more challenging boss fights, like because if you think about it, Wicked doesn't have any like I mean, there's 6 bosses, right? Which is like not a whole lot, and then there is Echo Knight.
Yeah.
If you like compare to like the actual content, like in terms of clearing areas, I feel like Wicked could use mini bosses, but that's like something Thomas doesn't like or doesn't want in the game. I feel like you know what they did with the Unbreakable Egg. What do you guys think about Unbreakable Egg? Because that to me is like a perfect mini boss fight. It's like they took an elite, its moveset, and they refined, added some new animations, give it a full health bar.
I really like that
Is
encounter.
this something? Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
they could
think.
build
Like
that.
the trench could have a mini boss, right? And Nameless Pass could have a mini boss. Like that's basically what modern Souls like do, right? They just stick to this formula where they're not gonna like have the main story bosses. Like tell me how many main story bosses Elden Ring has? Like barely any, right? There's like very few. There's like 9 or 10 complementary, like the ones you absolutely have to kill.
Yeah. What do you think into
Those are
the
the
Wicked?
main story bosses.
Um,
But
I'll let you finish, Haise. I don't know if you're done.
yeah, but yeah, in terms of like actual bosses, like the total bosses, there are so many, right? And they like to do mini bossy as well. Don't get me wrong, like FromSoft, you know, they've done it for years. They are like probably the best at it, right? There's like nobody that comes close. So I would just say like harder boss fights and more boss fights, mini bosses, like that kind of stuff, you know, adds a lot of content too. That's
Okay.
that what I feel like that's something they could do, right? Like there's no Echo Knight, you know. There's just one Echo Knight. There could be more Echo Knights. And Thomas has already shared the idea where they were doing yeah, like a Dark Souls thing, you know, for these 2 Echo Knights basically for like Crucible in the future. That's gonna be a boss fight. It's like very exciting. He shared like the fan art way back, which I think could be cool, right? The different Crucible modes, and at the end of it, you have a Crucible boss fight, which are, you know, probably as hard as Echo Knight, if not harder. That's like something which would be great for the game.
No, yeah, honestly, that's a good idea, brother. Here's my thing. I don't know if this is gonna fall under extra content, but I feel I was talking to Wicked Builds about this last night. And I think Larry said it in a video. Correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, after this.
Okay.
Okay, so I have this thing where every time I do a new character and whatnot, or just comments from people on YouTube talking to me or DMs from Discord, they have this thing where after they finish Sacrament, and then I think it's yeah. After they finish Sacrament, they get to Sacrament, right? We get to we get into, we see the Rookery guys and whatnot, um, and then they're like, I don't know what to do after that, right? And we're like, okay, well you can go. I mean, we already know you have the option to go to Nameless Pass or talk to I forgot his name. I think his name is Winnick or Warwick or what's his name? Shoot.
Winning, yeah.
Winnick, thank
Wait.
you, thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Talk to him and go say what's up to Derek, right? Or Darica.
Yeah.
That but my thing is this. There's I feel now since there's no obviously there's no XP gain in hard mode, for it was easy to level up in hard mode and then keep up with the leveling stack. But that's aside the point. The point is that I feel side missions would be
Yes.
really cool, and that I Stanley is strong behind that, and I'm sure they might have that in their back pocket. They just not releasing it now. But I think as a face value right now, I think that would be really cool because there's so much lore in this. Like I know we have bounties
Yes.
and whatnot. That's really cool. Like bounties are cool and whatnot. Like I love the fact that they changed it to where go play the game and not get any XP from the missions. I like that. Like that's a good idea. I think that's smart. Not a lot of games do that, and it encourages you to go out there and play and get used to the combat because at first the combat is challenging at first, especially for new people who never played this game and are attracted to the art style, and they struggled with. I mean, also I'm gonna say this right now. There's nothing wrong with struggling with Elden Ring. Nothing wrong. Not, like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying in this point right here, if you were struggling with like there's players out there who struggle like that, who with those type of games and like I really want to get into a dark fantasy game, but I can't find one. I can't find one that speaks to me that I like that is like that immersive with the combat, and then they run into Wicked, and they're like, oh my god, this looks awesome, and so they get in there, and it takes a while to get used to it because some people are the button mashers, and some people are they tend to not be as patient to learn. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I liked how they say, hey, go play the game, and I think it would help if you put like side missions with some lore and some background. Borderlands does that. They have a lot of side missions where you get quest rewards and whatnot. I think it'd be really cool if you were able to go do a quest, and some of them have specific let's say, because obviously we have a tier not a tier list, like we have the, for lack of better words, we have the legendary gear, the unique gear, and then we have the middle ground gear. I think it'd be cool if those side missions gave us some really unique magic rarity gear that have stuff like that, or one quest, there'd be like certain quests that would give us the legend, like something legendary, I'm talking about, like in other games like that. I think that would be really cool for those who like love that side of PvE to go explore the game, and then you're still getting that experience, one as a player but also XP, and then you can go back and you're kind of in line with the regular story missions. I
Yeah,
hope that made
exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, there needs
Yeah.
to be an incentive, right, to actually for you to do that quest. That's it was makes it interesting. You have to explore, go there, do that quest, and get rewarded. Because if there is no reward, then a lot of players won't do that, right? There's no reason for them to do it. They would just think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think yeah, a lot of people feel. I know. I always try to make sure people feel appreciated, or like they what they put in as work, they get rewarded in some way, shape, or form, because that's human nature. We're like that, and so I
Hmm.
think it would be cool for those who are like I think it's really nice for people who are struggling with the game. I think it's really nice for them to go do those side missions, and they be like, you know what? At least I'm still contributing in some way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
and then be like, okay, you know what, I'm still getting those hours under my belt, and it's okay. Like the game's challenging at first, but you know what, I'm still learning, and that's the part where I really try to preach to people in my videos that it's you really just have to learn. Like you can't. This is a game that teaches you a life lesson of patience. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's again, I'll let you guys build off that if you
No,
want to.
let's get Larry's opinion. He asked us, and he's been silently observing us like wild animals in the dark.
Exactly.
Right now we have a main campaign. We have checklists like the bounties and challenges. We have classes in a way. It's not class system, but you can build a class. Like you can be like a tank. You can be like an assassin. Like you can make builds work. Okay, it's there. What and here's the thing. What we don't have is, like you said, side missions. Where's the side content? We have like we go in Sacrament and you see all of these NPCs. Everyone has a little bit of dialogue, and you see like there's a priest over there. There's a bounty hunters or something, or a ghost hunter, which is like he's fake, definitely. But I like the dialogue, but there's no quest in him. There's a guy with the dog. I want to see the story behind that dog. There's there's a fisherman. There's so many NPCs there. None of them give you any quest. None of them, like I said, they're so hollow.
There's
And
one
you go into
quest. Have you not?
There's Eleanor's quest, and there are 3 quests actually.
Well,
There's Eleanor,
there's
which gives you
the
a
there's those two antisocial couple that you can get them to hook up in
Yeah,
at
you
the
can get that
tavern.
tavern. It's pretty wholesome. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
wholesome. I love
Yeah,
that
but
quest,
they
yeah.
they definitely need to build more stuff like that, like Larry's.
yeah. So there's
Yeah.
like the one you said. There's Eleanor. There's Gordon has the best quest ever. It actually lets you go outside the world. I want to see more of these NPCs in the world. Like, just think about it. At the beginning, when you first start the game, you encounter the hunters. I forgot the hunter guys.
Yeah,
The one
Lara.
that becomes the hunter.
Yes,
You
yes.
Yeah.
encounter her there. It's so amazing. I want to see more NPCs in the world. Like the world feels hollow right now. It's just enemies to kill.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Just foraging and what else? Like chest. That's all you have.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it feels like so lonely.
Well, I
wanna
believe
see the side
Thomas.
quest.
Yeah, I believe Thomas that he's still sticking to his vision of creating a live world. So hopefully, well, he said he might be watching this. So
Yeah.
hopefully
also,
he's just like, we still remember, Thomas. We want the world to feel more alive.
Yeah. There's also Finley. Like he's also like outside in the world. Like we want more of them, more of Finley or something like that.
Yeah.
Something you encounter in the world that then has an impact in Sacrament or in your
Yeah.
hub or something like that.
Yeah.
Like we need this, and we need this quest because every time, like you said earlier, all of you, you come after the first first hour, you come into Sacrament, and there's a big level difference.
There's a
But
gap.
you don't know. It's a big gap. You don't know where to go. So you either go back to the first area and try to grind a bit more levels there, or you just go directly to the nameless path and hope you can kill the enemies there with low level.
Yeah.
Just to add on to what Larry said, basically, I think it's great that we actually need more NPCs, and the ones that we already have, there's enough though, right? It's not like they don't have meaningful NPCs or voice lines. They pretty much have everything. They just need to use that to
Yeah.
create like
Yeah.
actual mini quests, right? It's really funny because when you go into Meadows, there's this guy, like even like some small quests like this, right? There's a guy who's struggling to use a shovel. You're like, this ground is like stone, and what you do, you basically go in there, you shovel for him. Is like, thanks, like that helps me a bit, you know. I've been starving, and I don't have enough strength to use my shovel. It's like such a small thing, right? It's just you are using a shovel for like 1 second for that guy, and he just thanks you for it. I think that kind of stuff is really cool. But even if you want there to be not a whole lot of enemies in the world, right? You can still have sorry, not enemies, NPCs. I mean, but you can still have enemies do like more interactability, right? They could be talking about their attack for on the Sacrament. Like recent enemies should be discussing that. Like the pair of them should be discussing how they're gonna attack Sacrament, because that's basically the lore, right? Dark in the
Yeah.
source is planning all this attack. But you can have like so many meaningful like lore with just like dialogues through NPCs. You don't even have to do, which is funny because like if you go in sewers, there's like a guy who's crying. There is an enemy who's like he messed up, like he should have never listened to Dark. And then you go there, there's a guy who's being killed by his own like ally
Own
or
friend. Yeah.
yeah,
Gets blown
exactly.
up.
Yeah, it's like an abandoned area which feels most alive. That's like something I've talked about previously. Because sewers is supposed to be the most abandoned area, but like for a place that it's abandoned, it feels more alive. There's so many interactability right there, and while you're clearing sewers, you get Dark screaming about how Nora
Nora.
left him and all that. Yeah, there's just so much. The moment you enter sewers, it's just something else, right? It starts
Yeah.
with an NPC who's crying, making regrets his life decisions and whatnot. Then you get a guy who's dying to his friend, who's turned into a torn human.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff goes a long way, right?
Yeah,
It's
that
just so good.
you guys know the guy that's being like crucified in that tunnel, and he's just praying.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to
Oh, I
like
forgot
help
about
that guy. I'm like,
yeah.
please let me
Mother,
bring him
maker,
down.
seeker,
Like,
forsaker,
yeah, that guy is like,
Sewers is so great. Yeah.
yeah.
Sewers
But
for me was one of the best areas before we got the breach, right? It
let's
has the best level design, right?
yeah.
The best boss and everything.
Let's get little bit of like a 5 minute of Q&A section. So everyone in chat, if we still have people watching, if you have questions directly at any of the content creators here, this is your chance to ask your question. Just ask them directly who the question is directed towards. Or if it's a general question, we can do that, but we will take directed questions first. We don't have a whole lot of time, so go right ahead.
Yeah, this podcast got real juicy real quick. Oh,
there's
man.
somebody
Real
there's somebody
juicy.
just mentioning the Annihilation beer, right? The film we have. Everybody's like, yeah, Moon Studios took inspiration, right? But they never confirmed. So everybody's like, nah, they for sure were inspired by that. There's a film called Annihilation where the beer is basically,
Oh, the bear. Yeah.
yeah,
That freaked me out. Man.
there's so many people in chat. They come in here, Moon Studios, you guys took inspiration, from that.
I remember the first time I played this game. I thought it was a Wendigo at first. I thought that's what it was. And I saw
it's
oh,
very
it's a bear. My fault.
Eldritch, yeah.
Oh man.
Cosmic horror kind of bullshit. I love it though.
Yes,
Yeah,
there,
man. Oh my
there is a
God.
Okay, we have
question
a-
for Haise, so you can go ahead and answer that.
What's the question?
It says, are Ash Soothed daggers still OP? Would love to see a build on that.
It's been a while since I used those daggers, but I would say they're pretty good. Well, used to be, right? They attack so fast, and if you have any kind of elemental build, you're
Okay.
gonna be proccing that really fast. As for builds, that's not something I can promise I'll do, because the moment I get to end game, and even when I'm getting to end game, the whole process of me just going through the campaign is very different from like most of you guys. Like I just basically annihilate through campaign, and if I start min-maxing my gear, the end game becomes very boring for me, right? It gets very stale. So just to like be excited, I create new characters, so the game is still challenging for me. That's like part of the reason I don't do a whole lot of builds, right?
Okay,
I just try
so
to.
yeah, let's move to the next one. Sorry, we're just a little short on time. I don't mean to be rude or cutting anybody off, but I'd rather
Yeah,
get these things done. So we have one question directed at Larry. What is your favorite weapon type, and what weapon within that type?
Okay, I'm just gonna say the weapon type. The weapon type is the Hope Chiron. The weapon type is the Sight, and Hope Chiron is my favorite one. I literally just did the build on it.
Okay.
It comes with Plague
Nasty.
Infusion on it, and it's incredibly aggressive.
Okay.
It's an incredibly aggressive weapon.
All right. Next.
But my overall favorite playstyle is a tank.
Okay. So next question is, and let's be as short as possible on these. What do you guys think of a 24-hour pestilence zone timer?
Gotta lower it. That's my answer.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Lower it. So everybody thinks they should lower it. I don't care. I spend most of my time in the Crucible. You guys can fight over that. Do you guys, do you guys like that we get 4 times elemental damage, crit, and armor pen? Basically, what they're asking is you get 4 people who have armor penetration hitting the same target, and that right now you're getting 4x the amount of armor pen.
Yeah.
So how do you feel?
Yeah, I like damage.
Yeah, it should apply.
You like it? Okay.
They just need to balance the boss around that.
Yeah.
And we're fine.
My answer to that would be I don't think I'll go over this in a different video, but I think just to make it short, I think the enemies past 2-player, they do enough damage, but they don't have enough health. That's just and we can talk about Justified later.
I see a juicy question.
Yeah. So what do you think, Larry, about this? The 4 times the amount of armor pen in the group. Larry?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm not really sure.
Okay, so we can move to the next one.
We need to test more to
Yeah,
give you an
yeah. You can reserve your opinion on any of these questions. What is everyone's bet on the next update drop date? When do you think we're gonna see something?
Ooh. I
Might be a while. Might be a
yeah,
while. That's all I can
I think
say.
it's gonna be a little while.
A little while.
Enjoy the present. You know, don't worry about the future. That's what I'm gonna say. They're obviously they got plans. Just
Yeah.
I would say enjoy the present. Enjoy the present.
My bet is
Yeah.
6 months from now.
Yeah,
they
let's give
did
them
said
some leeway. They already outdone themselves with this update.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Uh,
Give them some, free time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas said he will give an update in like a week or two after the Together with where they introduce a housing system.
Well, there you go. That's the best answer so far.
That's the best
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pattern with Wicked. Every time they do a massive patch, the first 2 to 4 weeks are hot fixes. We already have 2 hot fixes. I think a third one is coming. For the first minimum 2 weeks, expect like 5, 6 hot fixes, and then they focus on a major patch. The major patch usually takes like a month-ish after the last hot fix.
Okay.
That's about the fastest they do, but this one might be faster since, as he said, Thomas said 2 weeks. This feature was supposed to be in the update,
Yeah.
but they said we're not sure. We're gonna work on it a bit more and then introduce it. So this one might be much closer than we think.
Yeah, there might
Right
be
on.
a closer minor update, but as far as like a huge update goes, what you guys are expecting, like a ground shakeup, probably another
2 months.
few months
3
away.
months.
Yeah. Okay, what's
4 months.
next? General question.
Unspoken.
Okay, so here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
For new players, do you think people should prioritize Masterworks gear or jump into enchanting? My answer to that is do not enchant whatsoever. If you're a new player, just play around with Masterworks gear because Masterworks gear is completely viable.
I second that. I second.
Yeah.
Save the embers, man.
I totally agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Be smart. Be wise. You need those.
Yeah, I mean, it would be different if Masterworks was not viable. But I have videos. Probably it was the first or second video I ever put up. There's a Masterworks build that I have there, and it has held up ever since I started playing the game. It even held up when we were trying to co-op together, and I was just surprised. I'm like, maybe there's something to this. But anybody else has an opinion on it? Can we move to the next one?
I'm good.
You good? We're
I
good.
think we're good, yeah.
Okay. Entire crew, have you guys played Enfield? And if so, what features from the living co-op world would you want to see most put into the game?
I don't have an opinion on this one.
No,
I haven't played that game yet.
no,
So
I haven't played it
I
either.
have no
So
idea.
yeah, for my guess, 1.0 may be next. They said it is the last. Yeah, is that a question here?
Hey,
Kegren.
Wicked Bills, did you see that one where it says, "What do you guys think of the path of unspoken"? You cool with the
Oh,
answer? there?
okay. What do you guys think of the path of the unspoken, increasing difficulty, but benefit to player other more than tanking enemy? Oh yeah. My answer to that is I like the idea that you were getting more experience. It was an incentive, only because I use that to level up alt characters to create builds on. So again, my opinion on this is just completely irrelevant to a normal player's opinion on this. So
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I want the experience back.
Yes.
Give
So
us the
I se-
experience. There's no point of doing this anymore. Like if we don't get experience, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think
I
Haise
second
and
that.
I are going to be the one
I
disagreeing here.
mean, yeah,
We're
we
here for the
disagree.
challenge, right? If you're
'Cause-
going to a harder difficulty mode, you want it to be hard. Why do you want to make it harder but then easier at the same time because you overlevel the material?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Because that's how it was before in live, right? Because right now it's like particularly harsh on you because all the XP you would get from the quest, even after completing Sacrament, saving Eleanor, all those quests had experience behind them. But now that's all gone, and Unspoken doesn't give you a bonus experience, which was like 20%, right? Which takes a massive hit, but. I just think like if you're willing to play Unspoken, then you should be ready for it, right? That's
Yeah.
like the entire reason we got rid of Unspoken because it was supposed to be challenging, but you would over level for like most areas just naturally. It's not like
Yeah.
you would have to loop back.
Yep. So we
okay.
have one more question. Do you think it's good to get crit, chance, and damage everywhere? If you're doing a solo build, yes, you can definitely break the game doing that. But if you're playing co-op, you will be getting a rude awakening that you need a little bit of more investment into survivability. So I'll let everybody else
Yeah.
answer that.
Yeah, I think nowadays you're gonna have to. I think I mean personally, I'm gonna speak on my half. I might take a little bit longer with build guides because now I personally have to think of, okay, for the solo player, and then you have to kind of set like a new um build or armor or just fixes for the co-op part, and then I would have to test it, right?
Yep.
Because I'm not gonna put something out for you guys and be like, oh, it's great for co-op, and then it's only been solo. Because I think Wicked Bills touched on this last night. He said something about each time a player gets added, there's health and different damage numbers in play. So it's gonna be a little bit slower for something if I'm putting 2 builds out
Yeah.
in one type of thing. But anyways,
Yeah.
someone else.
My take on this is just get plate armor all the time.
Okay.
Plate armor will save you no matter what difficulty.
Yeah, that's a good one. Haise,
Also,
for
quick shout
control.
out to Kigaran in chat when it comes to Unspoken. She did mention that now there is a lot more enemies in Unspoken, so you are
Yeah.
technically getting more experience. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
real quick.
Mm,
Yeah.
But it's also more grinding. You still have to
exactly.
fight sponges.
Still gotta
It's still
kill
worse than before. I can promise you guys.
Yeah.
After like 100 hours in this build, I can promise you it's much worse than before.
Yeah.
The game was like 2x easier, 3 times easier than what it is right now.
Yeah. Well, do we have anybody else on this, or can we move on? Going 1, going 2, going 3. That's it. Okay. So,
I'm good.
what do you think the game price it will be at 1.0? I'm betting $60 to $70, and this will be the last question we're taking. So let's answer that and then move to the last section.
65.
I feel like 60, 50 is
60.
very fair, right?
Yeah.
But you always want to sell more copies and still keep the price low,
Yeah.
right? Like look at Hollow Knight, what it does, and
Yeah.
you're basically
69.
69. All right, Larry going for the 69.
I wouldn't want 69, but
Okay. I have an add-on question to that. If they added physical statue of the Twitch drop that's coming on 26, how much would you pay for that package?
100.
100.
I don't have an opinion on this.
You have
guys.
an opinion?
yeah,
Nah,
I don't know.
All right, well,
I don't know anything
here-
to say.
something for you to think about, Thomas, if you're watching. There is some
Like a
money.
collector's edition with physical goodies.
Yeah, the physical
Yeah,
statue.
yeah.
You know, the champion statue that they're
Yeah.
giving as a drop.
I mean, the champion statue depends how big it is, but I mean,
Honestly,
I think people would go like usually collector's editions like $100 to $120. So
Yeah.
around these.
Yeah, that's definitely okay.
Can
Yeah, for the-
I
for the-
add one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
We want more slutty outfits. My wife as well agrees with that. We want more slutty outfits for the female characters. Please give us that.
Yeah, if there are any modders out there, you've heard there is demand. There is.
Casca is probably listening. Casca is about to make a lot of money with those mods.
Yeah, there's definite demand, and you know, ever since I remember, there has been people wanting romance and stuff in the forums. But let's let's keep that for another time. We will be getting together soon. So we have 2 more sections. So let's keep it as short as possible. If you were to give one advice to a brand new player, somebody who is probably having a little bit of hard time getting through the combat system, if you were to give one short, concise advice to a player to make life easier for them, what would it be?
Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead, Larry. Yeah, I'll go last.
Upgrade your gear. Simple. That's it.
Okay.
And try to parry. No, I'm just kidding.
Try-
Try to
Ooh,
dodge.
that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Mine is take your time. This game is all about patience. Mine is not more of like a playing, like, place. It's take your time, understand the mechanics. Don't compare your performances with other people's you see online or on video. Take
Okay,
your time and just enjoy.
that's good. Did we take Larry just said wear plate? Was that it?
What?
Did you
Like,
answer
get
that
good.
question? Because
He did.
just wear
For
plate.
new players, I mean, I'd say
just
one
play
important
armor.
one. Don't forget your utility runes. I feel like it's overlooked.
Yeah.
I feel like most people read the tutorial, forget about it. You have a heal. Never keep your focus bar full. If it's full, you're wasting healing. You're wasting damage. Make sure that if your focus bar is full, use it.
Okay,
I
that's
would write all this down, new guys.
yeah.
Can I give another one?
Yes.
Invest into your health, please.
Invest
At
into
least
your
2
health.
points.
Yes.
Yes. Vitality
That's a good
check,
one.
vigor check.
If if I were to give one advice to new players, is as controversial as this sounds, don't use ranged weapons at the start of the game. Most enemies in this game have skill sets and move sets that translate into boss fights. And what usually happens with ranged players is that they will get through the early content easily. Then they get to the bosses and they feel like they've hit a wall because they have not honed their skills. What I can suggest is wear enough armor that you can chance parrying so that you can learn parry, and chance dodging so you can learn dodging, so that when you get to that stage of the game, you're not going to feel like you have hit a wall and be disappointed. So that would be my advice in a nutshell. Last question here, last section here. This is your message to the developers, and use whatever information you have and however you feel about the game. This is your chance to talk directly to the developers, and I will also make sure to chapter this out in case they want to come and take a look at it later. So whoever wants to go first, go right ahead, and we will follow up.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
So I love this game, yeah?
Yep.
No matter how long it takes to complete, I have no doubt that they will. It's going to be one of the best games out there. My message is don't rush it. I see a lot of my viewers saying that they are willing to wait until the game is truly ready. Like a lot of my viewers, and a lot of them are waiting for the console. So if you want to experiment with different mechanics, do it. There will always be people like us who are happy to test things and share our honest opinion, honest feedback. This is sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but it's like constructive criticism. So yeah. So my overall, take your time, deliver the best game you truly want to make, and please don't rush it. Don't make the same mistake as CD Projekt Red did with the Cyberpunk.
Oof.
And
Cool.
that's
I'll,
pretty much my message.
That's
Yeah.
good advice.
I'll add up on Larry and go a slightly different route, but it kind of means the same. Moon, keep to your vision. We're here because we love your game. We love what you're trying to do. You of course take in the feedback, but at least keep to your vision, try it out, and adjust after with PTRs and stuff. We want you to surprise us if we know everything that's coming, because it's all suggestions from other people. It loses the soul of the game, and I don't want to see the product getting diluted by feedback when the core project is already so strong. I think you should believe in the player base and stick to your gun and hope that they figure it out.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did we get
I'll
everybody?
basically agree with what Control said. Yeah, they need to stick to their vision, and players will adapt. That's like one thing players will always do, right? We might tank like a few negative reviews, but players will adjust. That's how gamers are, right?
Well,
Yeah. I would say just again, I would agree with both of that. It's just stick to the vision. Trust your guys' process. You guys know what you're doing. You guys see it. Sometimes a lot of feedback is just noise, and I applaud you guys for sticking with what you have. Enjoying the process, and that's it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's this is the tip of the iceberg, and it's looking real clean. So, thank you guys.
well, my message to the developers is that your game matters. And as a community, we might have forgotten what gaming has always been about. Gaming, to me at least, was always about belonging, about shared discovery, and telling a story, about building connections in a world that feels alive because we're all alive in them together. With that being said, I just wanted to remind you that to us, no rest for the wicked matters, because it reminds us why gaming mattered in the first place. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining the podcast, from the viewers to our esteemed guests and the what was that somebody said, streamer clowns here. I enjoyed your company immensely. The activity.
Bro, was that a tear?
Yeah.
Did you cry?
Who?
Yeah.
The
He hasn't moved on since. He's still remembering that, thanking that one guy for watching us. Like
no,
lone
I think it's
streamers.
fine. I think it's fun. It's actually it highlights the fact that we have a strong community. It has been all positive. You know, we haven't had any negatives to take away, and even something like that. I just find it funny, and I think it's a good point of a comical relief, so to say. Thanks everyone again for watching, for joining. This was a great get together. The activity was fun as hell to watch. I hope you guys also had fun in that activity. I will refine it for the upcoming versions of this podcast if we do decide to get back together again. I think there was a lot of constructive criticism and exchange of ideas that came out of this, and I think we have achieved the goals that we set out for the first episode of this podcast. If you want to have a little outro for the viewers, go ahead. And then after that, I will conclude the podcast.
Thank you guys, for having me on here. I want to say thank you to Wicked Bills and Control for, designing the pad. It looks great. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very grateful to be a part of this group with you guys. You guys are great people, great content creators, and I respect all of you guys, and I hope to keep the relationship strong with all of you as we progress through this. And I hope and wish you guys continued success.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. I love watching your guys' content. Every single one of these players I respect, and I consider them as my friends. And it's great to be here. As for some exciting news, I'll probably be uploading a hardcore run with the soon enough, so you guys can look forward to that. If anybody who watches our videos and channel, you can look forward to seeing some hardcore. That's about it.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, this is all about community at the end of the day. We're glad to be here. We're glad everyone's here together. It's always a pleasure to be talking with you guys, and I hope we can keep interacting. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's just always a pleasure. So we'll be seeing you around, and I hope that we have more of these conversations. Perhaps next time, at a time when I'm more available, that would be quite amazing. But it is what it is. I'll take the L on this one.
All right. So Larry,
Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
all right. It was a pleasure having all of you. Thank you again for joining, and thank you for watching. As always, stay well and stay kind. I will see you in the next broadcast. Thank you, and have a great day.